ការទី5ខ្ញុំរងចាំរយៈពេល3ខែដើម្បីទៅអញ្ជើញភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសដែលស័ក្តិសមបំផុតនៅក្នុងការបើករដូវកាលទី5ហើយរដូវកាលទី5នេះគឺយើងផ្ដោតទៅលើអ្វីទៅដែលជាខ្មែរហើយគេថាប្រធានបទនេះគឺខ្ញុំទៅតែនឹកឃើញបាច់មិញទេក៏ប៉ុន្តែវាចេញពីចិត្តតែម្ដងអញ្ចឹងយើងទៅជួបភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសយើងទាំងពីររូបតែម្ដងបាទគឺ Chris ជាមួយនឹង Gladys ដែលអ្នកទាំងអស់ធ្លាប់ឃើញវីដេអូគាត់ហើយបាទជំរាបសួរ
Hello.
Yeah man finally
I know it's been a long time coming.
How does it feel like being on the podcast for the first time?
Man, it feels good. I want to give a nice thank you to you and your team for allowing me the opportunity to be here today.
No, I mean you don't have to because I literally planned this. Like I'm gonna try to ask him, but I don't want to be awkward. And then somehow, somewhat that day you bring it up, I'm like, oh, the universe have answer.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised when I met you the other day. I had no idea you actually had a podcast, and you know we kind of met just as friends.
Yeah, sure.
Not even as like fellow content creators, just as friends. You were helping me out with the project that we got going on. And you asked for nothing in return. You were just helping me because you really enjoyed the mission that I was on and wanting to give back here in Cambodia. And it wasn't until after we met up and you helped me figure out the computer situation that I learned about your podcast and learned about what you do. And man, I was impressed. And shortly after we picked up the computers from you, we shared a picture on Facebook.
Yep.
And I had no idea it was going to get that much traction, but it went absolutely everywhere. And as I was walking around Siem Reap last week, people are like coming up to me saying, yo, when are you going to be on the Rean podcast? And I'm like, hopefully soon. But I didn't realize, man, we're going to be on a big Cambodia show. So thank you so much.
No, man, the honor is mine. And especially Gladys as well. Thank you for coming on. Agreed to be on.
Thank you.
I mean, people know you, of course, you came here, you've done many good videos, many amazing, inspiring video content that I feel like the people actually love seeing more of that. Not just from you, but from everyone who came to Cambodia. And even local content creators also took inspiration. They pursue that path, that route, which I think that is really good for people who watched it, for the audience, also for the younger generation to learn how to, show the kindness. But I want to ask a question. Like when you travel, I mean, this is I'm not sure how you feel about it, but it's not sensitive.
Okay.
Because you travel with Gladys a lot, right?
Yeah. 90% I would say 95% of our travels are with Gladys.
Yes.
Together.
Yeah. Because I mean, of course, when you see content, right, people think that, I mean, I would travel alone if I have to, but when people holding the phone, try to film, it's you, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
A lot of times
Okay.
it's me.
Okay. Mystery solved, right?
Yeah, she's the behind the scenes. So when you guys see that I'm using both of my hands and the camera's moving, and then you only see me talking selfie, during that transition, me and Gladys kind of have our routine. We're a team. So I'll pick up an item from a street vendor and she'll take the camera from me, and then without it being noticeable, hand it right back to me, and I'll continue walking and you won't even see Gladys. But this is my partner in crime.
Yeah, of course. I that's why I really want you to be on.
Thank you.
You know, it takes two to get things done.
It does.
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
Yes, but I mean, at least you need to have two.
Yeah.
Me too. I owe it to my wife. She's the reason why I'm here. She's the one who said that you should do it. If you love the work, you should quit your job and pursuing full-time content creators.
Yeah.
And that's why when I see you too, I'm like, oh, I see myself too.
Yeah,
Fine.
and my story is kind of the same. I started creating content 8 years ago, but it never really went anywhere. It was just kind of me making videos for... A lot of people have the misconception that like creating content and going viral once is going to change your life. Man, it takes a lot of work to do this consistently and to be able to actually turn it into, something that brings in income, something that is something that you're able to do long time. And with Gladys, it wasn't until I met her that my career actually started taking off, because she had already been doing creating content on YouTube for a few years before myself, and she led me into SEO, how to title your videos.
Yeah.
Consistency that I didn't realize was so important on social media. Like the little things I had no idea about until I met her.
Yeah, I totally agree. And sometimes I would say I'm sorry if it's this not the right sentence you want to hear, but I think you are like the unsung hero along with Chris, because you deserve all the credit as well in terms of helping him produce the content, being there for him, and also sometimes I'm pretty sure you, Chris, when you travel you get exhausted.
Yeah,
you need somebody else to give you a hand or listen to your complaint, or at least cheer you up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your content is like always, the amount of positivity in the content. I got goosebumps saying this, man, every time. It's like, when do you get tired? The energy is always there.
Yeah.
What is the secret sauce?
So the energy's always there, but behind the scenes, sometimes I am pretty exhausted. It does get kind of exhausting traveling so much because, my niche is travel, guys. So I bounce around from one country to the next. Sometimes in the last 2 months, we've been to 10 countries. So it's been extremely difficult. Actually, about 2.5 months, I've been bouncing around quite a bit. And it gets very exhausting, especially with the jet lag, filming every day, especially in, the harsh environments. Like for us, Cambodian heat is hot, man. It's very hot. It's hard to get out there and make videos consistently. And as you mentioned, that's why I got her. She's the special sauce, man, in the formula. She's the one that's like, no, you got to get out there and go make a video today. It's okay. You can relax afterwards. And I'm like, you're right. Let's do it. But sometimes I need that.
You need that. I need that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I randomly just message my wife and complain. Not that I needed to, but I just want her to say something that can just say, get off the chair and do something,
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the invitation and for talking about this behind the scenes.
No, I think this is why we need podcasts, You cannot randomly make a video about your behind the scene or randomly introduce Gladys, say, for viewers, they would love it, but I mean, for you, sometimes it's not necessary,
Yeah.
Like for me as well. Earlier, you asked me, can I film this? I'm going to show your gear. Oh, of course. I would love people to see what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, and where I got all this stuff from, right? And in order to do that is to inspire people to know where to begin, or at least to have some idea how to get the gears from. Like for Gladys, let's go back to the lady first. So you studied before Chris a few years. That means around 10 years plus already.
I started around 2016 in Venezuela, in my country, making videos about Venezuela because it's a country that it's pretty much all the time on the news. So a lot of people ask themselves about Venezuela. So at that time, I was already out of college. I studied journalism and I was working in a radio show. That's why I love podcasts so much. This reminds me my job. I
made the right choice. I made the right choice pushing her forward.
Oh yeah, she had her own talk show for a few years in Venezuela.
I'm pretty sure in the next few years I will see your podcast.
I would love to.
Just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Yeah. So radio was my job, and I started making videos about Venezuela. First of all, I started making videos first about radio, like advices to be a radio host, how to talk on radio and stuff like that. And then I started making content about my city, Caracas, and the country in general. And they got a lot of views. So in short time, about a year, my YouTube was already making money. And I started traveling because YouTube assigned me a partner manager. And one of the things she teach me was, well, if you want to make better money, you should travel to countries with better monetization. I started traveling, and on the radio they told me, well, you have to choose. It's either your YouTube channel or your radio show, because it was live every day, prime time from 4:30 to 7 p.m. And I was like, okay, well.
Was it hard?
It was, of course. I was used to a regular job every day. I was used to get a payment that I already knew what was the amount of money, you know. And I also had a community on the radio already,
so
because
you have everything.
because I was doing that for around 5 years at that
shit.
time. Yeah, so but at the end, yes, I left the radio and I kept my YouTube channel.
Have you ever regret the decision, or you wish that you couldn't keep both?
No, I think I can't have both, because the public on the radio, they deserve that you are live. You know, that you're not, that you don't record
Yeah, true.
the shows for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can't have both when you're traveling.
True.
Like nowadays we have podcasts, and maybe I can have my own podcast, and that would be
Please.
so cool. But
Please, I'm just gonna keep nagging about this.
Yeah, you're a huge advocate for podcasts, huh?
No, I am.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to radios. I understand the value of listening to radio and the information you get, because in order to understand a story from a radio show, the reporter, the host has to be very concise, very direct, and the language being used has to be clear.
Clear.
yes.
Yeah, in the short amount of time, say half an hour show, you need to cover 5 stories. How are you gonna get that information? And this is something that I never share with my audience. That it's one of the secret why my video are so like easy to relate with or easy to understand, because I make it that way from the influence I get from the radio show. Now you see the real deal right here. Now
Yeah,
I'm pressured.
exactly.
I'm pressured.
Yeah, and on radio, you like on the old days at least, you don't have videos, right? This is now on podcast, so you gotta like as you
get that.
said,
Yeah, you
have
get that
the
juice.
precise words
Yeah.
so the audience can
Yeah.
relate with you. And it's funny because I always used to listen to radio shows. It was one of my favorite social media, like to communicate. And whenever I met a radio host that I used to listen, it was always a huge disappointment. It was like, oh no, I imagine him or her and in a different way.
Oh,
Because with the voice, that's all you have.
true.
That person, it's the voice.
True. I totally agree. That happened to me too.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple like large icons on the radio in Los Angeles that I've listened to my entire life. Like I know their jingle, what they say, what they do.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, I was like, man, let me look up what this dude looks like in my head. Like
You envision something.
I envisioned something different when I went to go search him up. Man, yeah, he looked totally different. He wasn't even the same skin color that I thought he was based off of his voice on the like I grew up listening to this dude for 20 years in Los Angeles and had no idea what he looked like or who he was, but he played such a big part in my life growing up. Like on my way to school, I heard his voice. In the morning when he'd do prank phone calls, I'd hear his voice. Like I felt like I knew this guy, but I knew nothing about him. But the way that he portrayed his voice and the messages through the microphone builds that connection.
Yeah, and that's the magic about radio.
I totally agree. This is why I keep doing, like you see the logo on there, the like video platform and then the audio platform. And I do have audience who usually don't watch the video, but they listen to the audios only. And they met me, they were like, oh yeah, it's so good listening in the car, driving. And I have people like sending me messages, thank you. I have this episode that I can listen to while I'm driving home. I mean, of course, guys, be safe. But pay attention to the road, but like driving, listening is okay if you're, taking responsible driving
Of course.
procedure, right? And that's how I never let go the impacts that I received when I was a kid from the radio show. I so appreciate you when you hearing that. I did not know.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
not know. If you didn't come on the podcast, I would have not known that you are.
Yeah, well, that is my background. That's why for me making YouTube videos was so easy because I was used to talk.
I agree.
And I also studied communication, so for me it was very easy to pick words.
So you know the flow,
Yeah,
at least, right?
I knew the flow already. And after that, I went to Mexico City to YouTube Space, and I was there for around 3 days making workshops, and that improved my channel a lot. So when I met Chris, I already knew a lot of YouTube, and I help him with his channel. But of course, the credit's on him because he's the one that goes out and make the videos. And it's something so cool I like about his channel. It's the authenticity. It's super authentic.
Yes.
And that's something that I think helps a lot with his channel.
Yeah. When I first met you, Chris, I was shocked. You sound exactly the same in the video. Your attitude are the same. Your personality, like I would say anyone who met you, that's why they love you, because it's there, man. You don't
Thank you.
You don't put on a mask, you don't put on a filter, you don't put on, any script that this is the thing that I also want the local creator to pay attention to, is that you would face the challenge if you have a persona. And when you out of a persona, you have to behave differently, and it would later on gonna cost you a lot of headache, right? But let's get back to the question. When you mentioned that you and Chris meet, when was that?
So,
yeah.
So we met 4 years ago now. 4 years ago now on the
2020.
Yeah.
No.
2021.
2021.
On the 5th of May.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I remember.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, good
I
point.
remember that date too.
Yeah.
You're safe now.
Yeah, it was we celebrate Cinco de Mayo in the United States. I didn't even know it wasn't even like a holiday that's celebrated in Mexico. It's just like an American Mexican holiday. But we had been talking during COVID. We had been planning on meeting for quite some time, but due to all of the different travel restrictions that were happening at the time, it just made it impossible. So we kind of stopped talking for a while, and then out of nowhere, Gladys messaged me. It was like a February, and she was saying, hey, what are you doing in May? Would you like to go to Mexico? I'd like to film a travel series with you. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's go together. Let's make it happen. And we ended up spending 3 months together, never separating, and that was like the start of our relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a story. And now we're here.
You're a good storyteller, man.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, you summarize 5 years into just... No, it's good. It's straightforward.
A lot of people ask like, oh, okay, so you met in Mexico, and like what happened after when you met again?
Send them the video that you just said. Explanations here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Clip that.
I'm like, well, that's it. We met and then we stay together.
Yeah. I totally can see, imagine how it feels like when you see someone that you know that, I will be able to spend time with this person every day for the next, for eternity even.
Yeah.
When I met my wife, I was supposed to go to Australia for continue my master, right? And then that was it. Oh, that's her.
Yeah. I
don't want to go anywhere. But she had to go back to her school to finish her senior years. I even waited here for a year for her to come back. And I don't say I'm stuck here. I'm happy that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure 10 years forward or 20 years forward, you look back, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, man, everything happens for a reason, and everything happens when the time is right. That's another thing too. So I try and tell a lot of people that's when I meet people on the streets, especially aspiring creators, people that want to do the same thing I'm doing. The number one thing that I always tell everybody is man, give it time. It doesn't matter what you like to do in this world or what you're passionate about. So you got to give it time. You got to put in the hard work, and nothing happens overnight. And a lot of times, if it does come overnight, it probably won't stick around too long. So, just following your dreams and, practicing what you want to do every single day is the only way to become successful doing anything in life.
True. The dedication, the discipline that you had to put into, you cannot just give a formula on this is how you're going to do it,
Yeah.
You actually have to do it yourself first.
Yeah, everybody has to build their own formula.
Yeah. And as you were saying earlier about the whole persona thing, there's a lot of creators you'll meet in person that are not the same people that you watch online. It is crazy how different it gets on social media versus meeting people in person. And there's nothing like just being yourself and doing what you enjoy, because like you said, all it takes is you being in the wrong situation or at the wrong place at the wrong time. And then, the truth comes out, and then everything that you've built up over the course of the last few years, you lose it all.
Oh, yeah.
And it happens because, man, a lot of people are just not authentic.
Yep.
You know, or they're forcefully doing something that they think is going to generate income, and it will, but it's not necessarily something that they're passionate about, and it shows.
Yeah.
I think it really.
And you also have to try like different ways, different things. When I met Chris, his channel, the style was completely different than what is today. Like it was videos completely edited. My videos always were edited and with a lot of information, because that's my nature. I'm a journalist. I want to talk about like,
of course,
you know,
yeah,
like all of that. I do a lot of research. And he was like, I feel like he was like, oh, like I have to do that, you know? But it wasn't for him, because he just goes with the flow, and the video, it's amazing. And it took time to find that style for Chris. It took like maybe we met like 2 more years.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of
So he tried a lot of different styles till he find his own style.
Yeah.
But actually, you know what that means? This is always been you.
Yeah.
It's just that you chose the wrong one.
Exactly. And I was also, man, how can I say it? I was also just trying to, I'll be completely honest. In the beginning, I had a lot of inspiration on YouTube and people's videos that I love to watch. But I felt like in order to reach that same level of success as some of my favorite creators, who now, I'm really grateful that I've been able to, like, then some of those my favorite creators are now some of my like good friends, which is super cool. But there was a lot of people that I looked up to when I first started doing YouTube, and I would be like, okay, well, I got to go make these beautiful shots with these cameras. I got to put music here. I got to get drone shots.
Yeah, we were using drone and everything.
I got to plan a voiceover and things like that, and it would take a lot of time, and it wasn't something I was necessarily like, I felt that that's not what what I really wanted to do with my videos, but I was doing it because that's what the formula was on YouTube. That's what everybody was doing.
The algorithm, all of these things that you think it is.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let me do that. And it wasn't until I switched into the raw style without the edits that everything started working out for me. And it was also the style that I felt more comfortable in. Like, I was just being myself, and right now it's easy for a lot of people to say, because they just see the name and they see the numbers everywhere, and they're like, oh, Travel with Chris, he's a big YouTuber, a Facebook creator. But when you're first starting, you got that doubt in your head. You're like, dude, who's gonna watch me? Like, why would anybody care?
Agreed.
What I have to say?
Agreed.
So literally, like, your biggest enemy is yourself, guys. Like, literally, all of the doubt that's built up in your head, 90% of the people around you aren't even thinking about any of those thoughts. It's just you. It's like your brain telling you, I can't do this, or why would somebody want to listen? But it wasn't until I started making the videos that I felt was authentic that things started to work for me. And people, all of the people that I could have never imagined would watch me, now watch me, and also relate to the content that I'm creating, because it's also quite personal, you know?
And also in between switching the styles, well, we never talk about this, but after we met, then he went to Venezuela, to my country, and there he started a Spanish channel. I was like, Chris, you speak Spanish, because he grew up with his grandma, and her is from Guatemala. She is from Guatemala.
Okay.
So she speaks Spanish, and he learned it. And he speaks so good Spanish that we were in Venezuela, and I was like, Chris, you gotta make a YouTube channel in Spanish, please. So he started one. He also tried that.
Is it still working?
So I haven't posted on there in about 2 years, because now at the time, 3 years now, but at the time, my English channel, wasn't what it is today. Like, I don't remember, but not a lot of followers at all, not an audience, not a community. That's one thing. Numbers are kind of irrelevant in the space that we're in right now. It's all about community. Who sits there and tunes in every time? Who cares about the message that you're spreading?
Agree.
Community is everything. So at the time, I didn't have a community. So I was like, okay, well, how can I reach an audience in Venezuela, and manage to get something that brings in income? Because at the time, that's also very important, guys.
Yeah.
I'm literally don't have a job, and I'm like, okay, I want to make income, but I also want to do something that I'm like very passionate about. I didn't want to just go back home and find a traditional job. Not that there's anything wrong with it, because there's not. We need people in every space in the world. But I just knew like I wanted to spread the mess. That's where the first ideas came up about going to the street vendors.
Yeah.
Asking the street vendors how their day was going, what they're selling.
The street barbers.
Yeah. They're asking them about their families, how many kids they got. And
I was about to say that it's the first time you started trying with the raw style, and in between that changing styles, of course it's hard because you like are used to do something. In this case was edited videos, and you're like, oh, but I love them, I don't want to let them go, but at the same time you want to do the other stuff, but you don't know if it's gonna work the same. So I think that channel helped to understand that the raw videos, they were good also, and that you don't need a lot of editing to have a very good video in this type of channel. And it was like a practice, I feel.
Yeah, we reached 40,000 subscribers, but I never made any more videos in Spanish, and people still ask me to this day, when are you going to bring back the Spanish channel? And I think I will soon, but the whole point is that a lot of times, guys, you might not even know what your mission in life truly is until you dabble and you experiment over and over and over again, and then eventually one day you're gonna find something that works for you, and that you can help, whether it is that you can help grow, whether it is personal or for your business. And I think that practice is everything. Like every craft, making videos takes a lot of practice.
Totally, I agree. Listening to your story, I feel like, each creator's journey, it's quite unique. But there's this common sense as well, this common path where we're going through, especially the first, I would say, 3 years, top. Always the question marks every day. Why am I doing this? Yeah. Is it for me? How am I going to survive? But I mean, for those who manage to go through that phase, the honeymoon phase, they will survive. Yeah, and then the aftermath, the next 2 or 3 years after that, it's like going to determine like who you really are, right? Like whether you're gonna keep going or expand from that, or you're just gonna give up and do something else. Right?
Yeah. And what got you into doing podcasts?
Actually, like I said earlier, it was the radio shows since I was a kid.
Okay.
And I always wanted to become a TV host, but now TV is kind of different.
Yeah.
It was the same for me. I always wanted to be one of those ladies.
That's why we get along so much. That's why the energy is there.
Funny.
Yeah, but I couldn't make it. So when I created my YouTube channel, I was like, well, I did it.
Same.
Yeah.
I always do this, I would like find random old camera and film myself talking.
Wow, really?
That's insane, bro.
That's
like,
insane.
I have photos of me little with a radio and a microphone, because that I used to play like that.
I have a mic stand in the studio. I was like, I want to be a host.
Like the toys I wanted was that like a microphone so I can talk, and a camera. Wow. And I used to have a little camera, and every Sunday I went with my dad somewhere, like especially do you say square in English? The
plaza.
Yeah,
the plaza, yeah.
I used to go, we used to go to the plazas, and I always took pictures of the statues, how do I say that, right?
The statue.
The
statue, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those were my toys.
Oh my God. You see?
That's cool.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of people think I would have been like super passionate about cameras and stuff too, but I wasn't. I actually, this kind of all happened on accident for me, because when I was growing up, I had a lot of dreams. Like I wanted to be a fireman.
Ooh, you would make a good fireman.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, a hot one.
Yeah.
Lady would go after you, bro.
Yeah, bro. But I wanted to be a fireman. That was like a first dream. And also I wanted to be a soldier. And that's why I joined the military.
Yeah. I was going to ask.
Yeah, I was in the military for 5 years in the United States. But the camera, man, that was all like something that came kind of random. Like I was backpacking already for about 2 years when I bought my first GoPro. I was traveling around the world. I had quit my job and I bought this GoPro. It's a GoPro Hero 6.
Ooh, yeah. Wow.
And
I started with an iPhone 6, my YouTube channel.
so it's been a while. But
my God.
That GoPro 6 is what's, man, like as soon as I touched it, I fell in love with it. I was like, man, this is sick. Like you can
Love at
tell a
first sight.
story with the camera. Like I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I just kind of started making videos. But I feel like I discovered the passion through trying many different things. And you guys have like always been passionate about it since day one, which is beautiful.
No, I think
That's beautiful.
the good side of this conversation is that we have both people who grew up wanting it and people who happens to meet it and then realize I'm pretty sure if you happen to expose to it sooner, you will be just like us.
Oh, of course.
We grew up because I think my parents, my dad, he loved photography. And I randomly pick up a camera on the street, like in brand new in the box, like a film camera. And I just love taking photographs, And then later on, this passion with radio show, like you have, it's influenced, it's sort of shaped the way we wanted to have our career for.
It influences you, definitely. I remember my dad listening radio like a lot of times, of course, in the car, but also in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And for every birthday, he used to call the radio station, and that you can send like
song requests, message.
Yeah, to request message for me or for my mom. So I was so excited to hear on the radio my name. They were like, "Oh, congratulations, happy birthday, Gladys, from your dad and your mom." And I was like, "Oh yeah, they're saying my name on the radio." So I feel like I grew up with that energy. And then when I was in high school, I didn't know what to study in college. I was so confused.
Well, why journalist though?
I applied for being a lawyer. I applied for, I don't know how to say this in English, comunicaciones políticas, politics?
Study political science.
Political science?
Yes, political science, yes.
And then I was like, okay, let me apply for journalist, social communications. And I started in a college studying the how do I say political social?
Yeah, social. Yeah,
Social.
Political
science.
Political science.
Yeah,
Sorry,
science, yeah.
I started in that career,
Mm.
and then I was like, okay, this is not for me. Let me switch to journalism.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So thank God, because
I also want to be a lawyer.
really,
Yeah, I studied philosophy for law school.
yeah.
Wow, you
Well,
guys have a lot in common. That's
yeah.
I was listening
That's
to
cool.
What? I also, my graded degree, master degree is supposed to be journalism,
I started with a master degree after college, but that was the time I also started the YouTube channel. So
Okay.
I never finished it.
Okay. I don't.
And I think Chris is the reason I don't study no more at college, because it's my passion. I love it. I would like to do
I
a
don't blame
master.
you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
But I also enjoy my job and helping him. And I love traveling, of course.
See, I see now. I see why you two are such a powerful duo. She is the missing puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are the puzzle. You know how to play your puzzle. She know how to fit in, like, faster and more. Like, now I feel more comfortable, feel more, how to say it, confident in saying that your content are well researched. You have somebody who with this knowledge to make sure that content is crafted in a way that it's not going to misinform.
Yeah, sometimes I feel that I'm annoying. I'm annoying person, because I'm like,
You should meet my wife. My wife is that person too. She would just double check everything I do.
Yeah.
Even the status that I write. We're like, do you sure you mean that? Like, I know you mean that, but you sure people will understand that?
She does the same. I'll leave a comment real quick or reply to somebody that gives me some negative energy online because something I read just triggered me. And she'll be like, Chris, delete that comment.
You don't need that.
You didn't need to do that. Look at, you got 1,000 amazing comments and one guy left something negative and you respond to him negative. Like, just put that energy into something else right now. Like, you don't, why are you even giving that person a time of your day if all they're bringing is negative energy into your life?
I hear my wife in this.
And I'll sit there and I'll think about it and I'll be like,
true.
I'll go back and then I'll spend 10 minutes scrolling through 1,000 comments to find the one I left the negative comment on. I'll delete it and I'll be like, yeah, you know what? And I'm gonna block him too. And then let's see if he leaves another negative one.
Do you block?
No, not so much, but
I do.
I block people that
I block people too.
I don't necessarily have to talk to, or people who I block one person with our photo. I don't want to. I mean, I don't think he would see our content.
Yeah,
he was saying something that's nothing related to you, but I was like, no, I don't want people to see this. I don't want to have bad influence on the audience. It's not like faking the news or anything, but it's just like, it's not necessarily to bring this into the feed.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to get rid of that energy.
Oh, of course.
And as a creator, guys, sometimes I don't see the messages, right? There's thousands that come in across all the platforms, but every once in a while I'll be scrolling and I'll look at one and it catches your attention because it's just full of a bunch of negative things, and you'll read it, and then that comment will sit with you the entire day. Like, the entire day, you'll be thinking about that one negative comment, even though there was literally 1,000 positive ones that came in. And you're talking about like really positive messages. People telling me, man, you made my day better. I get messages all the time like, Chris, you have no idea. I have terminal 3 cancer and I can't travel anymore. And your videos remind me of a past life that I lived when I used to just be able to hop on a plane and go anywhere. And those messages are the ones that should be taking all of your energy, like the positive ones, the ones that are leaving a major impact. Every time you guys see those clips of me purchasing items from a street food vendor, or when I make videos sending vendors home, those videos were inspired by my family, by my grandma. My grandma illegally came to America in the 60s, then eventually became an American citizen. But that's a story of a lot of people in the United States and around the world, right? But when she was growing up, she grew up in a small little town in Guatemala, and her and my uncles, and we'll crack jokes about it nowadays because life is so much different. And she's one of those like people that tries to turn in all of those bad scenarios and stories of her life into something funny these days. My grandma is super funny. And my grandma, man, she used to sell mangoes in Guatemala, walk around with mangoes on her head and, you know, sell them for hours until they were all sold. She told me stories about, you know, how she would sell, what are those kamai pancakes? They're like a thin kamai pancake with white cream and like some orange shavings on top.
They're sweet.
Yeah, dessert. Yeah, just pengayam dessert. Yeah, I think we have that num pum. Called num pum.
I think it's
like num pum. Yeah, num pum.
Num pum. And well, there's something similar in Guatemala that they sell. Very similar as like it's like a wafer. And you know, she always told me this story about how when she was a kid, she would go out to sell all of these wafers, like these crackers. And that one day she was walking to sell them, and that's the wind knocked them all out of the bucket and it broke all of them. And you can imagine it was probably like, I don't know, at the time, $5 in profit that she was going to make if she sold everything. But that she sat there and just cried and was screaming. And she was just so worried about what her parents were going to say, because obviously they were living in some extreme poverty. So they felt obligated to go out there and make the money to bring home to mom and dad so that they can eat. And those stories have always sat with me in my head. And whenever I see these ladies on the street, me and Gladys right away, we're like, man, dude, like, I want to help that lady. I want her to go home and relax today. Like, I want her to go home and have a rest day. We saw a lady the other day that was pregnant walking the street selling nampla ai.
Nampla ai, yeah.
Nampla ai. Yeah. And
my favorite.
My favorite too. I love it.
It's so good.
I'm like, Chris, please take me go and eat.
I saw that video. I saw that video.
But that lady, for example, man, I saw her just carrying all of her nampla ai in the middle of the day, it was like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to Cambodia, even though I know a lot of you guys are Cambodian, but if you haven't been here in the middle of the day, it is brutal. It is super hot. Even the Khmer people try and hide from 1 to 3 p.m. It is hot.
Yep.
And this lady was walking around selling with all these items on her head, and she right away caught my attention because she looked exhausted. I was like, man, dude,
I saw that.
She looks tired, and I just felt bad. I was like, man, she's out here working in this middle day heat. Like, let's see if we can purchase a couple items from her. And I had no idea I was going to give her like a bigger donation until she put the items down. And I looked at her stomach, and I was like, man, she's pregnant, like real pregnant. Not like you can see.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I was like, how pregnant are you? And she's like 6 months. And I'm like, man, 6 months. And she's walking the streets with these snacks in the middle of the day heat while she still has more kids at home. Man, I just felt like I had to give her a little bit of a bigger donation and send her home, because looking at her, I just envisioned my mom, like being a single mom growing up with kids, always working extremely hard. Like, I always relate to the people that I meet on the streets, like on a real personal level. And that's another reason why sometimes we both get angry. Sometimes we see a lot of foreigners here in Cambodia, man, complaining about all kinds of stuff. Like the other day, we were sitting inside of this trendy breakfast spots. I don't even know the name of it, but it's in Siem Reap. Beautiful breakfast.
Don't mention the name; they might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Good that you don't remember the name.
So I go in there, and there's this French girl walks in there with a MacBook and an iPhone, right? Opens up her MacBook, sits down, and she tells the lady at the register, excuse me, I only have $5. Do you think you can give me this meal and this coffee for just the $5 instead of the $8 that whatever the meal was? And me and Gladys sit there, and we're like, bruh, are you serious? You came to Cambodia. You flew on an expensive plane ticket, because getting to Cambodia is not cheap. You've bought an expensive plane ticket to come all the way here just to bargain with
in a store,
like in a
restaurant,
that has set prices. Like, I was thinking in my head,
you would never do that.
You're not gonna go to a cafe in Paris and be like, well, look, I got €5.
Yeah.
Give me the croissant and the coffee. Get out of here. But the fact that some people feel like they can do that because they come here to Cambodia and do it, I think is wrong. And I don't mean like go around and tip everybody, because there's a lot of people
who need help,
that need help. It's hard to help everybody. You can't do it, right? It's impossible. But if you can at least contribute and not bargain with the people that are trying to make an honest living, I feel like that goes a long way. And that's 2,000 real. That might not be much for someone from Europe or North America. Man, can make a huge difference here. Like to a street vendor walking the streets, so you give her an extra 2,000 real, she's going to be super happy. And that 2,000 real, she's going to use to go buy some vegetables and maybe something that she can go home and prepare for dinner later on. And I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I'm happy that you bring this up. It would have been so weird if I'm the one who talk about this from, a local perspective. And we don't mean to, flag everybody who's bargaining, but it's situational.
Situational, because
yes,
we're in Asia, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay to bargain. If the tuk-tuk drivers hit you with $15 to drive you around from Pub Street to, I don't know, to the Anchor ticket counter, and then you got to bargain. That's not the right price.
You can bargain, in a place where there's no price tags, right?
Exactly.
This is the rule books here.
Yeah.
If you see the price tags on, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I said that wrong. You're right. With the tuk-tuk drivers, maybe walking around the old markets, places like that in Siem Reap, you can bargain. But yes, when you go to a place that has a fixed price,
they do have like a menu. They put the price. I'm pretty sure people with common sense know this, and they also do the research, and it's quite available, like in terms of how much you can pay for the tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why when I see your content, I really love it. Like, it put a smile on me all the time. I sometimes forgot what I've done as well as a person. When you go in public, like, you're in a position where you can provide, right? but you also don't want to over provide because you want them to just tap in the shoulder and say you can do this. Yeah, here's a little help, or just guide them and say go to this way. You're gonna get it done, right? Yeah, it reminds me of this situation where I was at a coffee shop, at Starbucks to be exact. I was ordering coffee, and then I see this old grandma and grandpa was standing there just staring at the menu in English. And then later on they put Khmer, right? Before that they don't have because Starbucks just opened. And then I feel like they don't know how to order. And then I waited for them to order. Then I asked, what do you want? He said, oh, I want this coffee. It's like, they don't have it. They have this. You want to try this? I said, yes. So I ordered, I paid. And then I told the counter, said, don't charge them. I paid with my card and everything, right? Man, they were just crying, man. I'm like, just a cup of coffee, They were like, nobody would done this, And then for me, man, that day I was just like, nobody can like get me mad. I was just happy the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, your energy changed.
Yeah, and I was so exhausted. It was like 8 a.m. I had to go work, The whole day, I get a lot of things done, and I'm like, I like this feeling, But
yeah,
of course.
And part of the thing one thing that I like to do is I'll walk the streets, right? And I just think that small gestures go a very long way, especially in places like Cambodia, and especially if I'm talking even to locals or foreigners, guys. If you're coming here and you're cruising down the streets and you see an elderly lady walking down the street selling, I don't know, the other day I saw a lady selling these like, they're not bird houses, they're spiritual houses. I'm not sure if you saw that video. They're like a spiritual house, but I was like, oh, look, this lady's selling bird houses. And she was selling all these little houses made out of palm leaf. Man, I didn't need one. What am I going to do with one? I sleep in a hotel. I don't need one. But her cart drew my interest. I wanted to learn about what she was selling, and I approached her, and when she didn't really know how to communicate with me, and I didn't with her, but she still smiled, and she told me the price of this spiritual house that at the time I thought was a birdhouse. And, she tells me, oh, it's $3. In my head, I'm like, man, this lady, dude, she looks like she hasn't made a sale at all today. Like, do I really need this? No. But would it make me feel a lot better if I help her? Yes. So at that, I gave her $3. She left extremely happy. And in my head, I'm like, you know what? Hopefully this lady sells more today. But if she didn't sell anything, at least now she's not going home with nothing. And she made at least $1 that day.
True.
And also for us, well, for me, I'm from Venezuela, right? Latin America, this type of cards are so different, like so unique. In my country, we don't have that. So it was so cool. When I see things like that, I'm like, wow, I want to take a photo. I want to share with my mom this, like, wow, this is so cool. And I see so many people that just go take the photo and don't even tip the vendors. And for me, I don't like that. I like it if you're going to take a photo, at least give them something.
Buy
you're
something.
Buy something, but maybe,
Great.
Let's say you don't have the money because you're in a budget here. Like you don't have $3 to spend in a little house. Okay, at least tip something, like
True.
1,000 real,
Agree.
2,000 real. It doesn't going to hurt you.
I would say in other way, there are people here that they think that, when you start giving, it become a habit for them. But I would disagree. There's a point where you fully knowing who needs help, who doesn't.
Yeah.
It's within your heart. You would know.
Of course.
The soul will tell you that this person needs help.
And you feed off the vibes. You can tell when somebody's gonna go drink with your money. You can tell when somebody's just taking advantage of you when they're asking for you. But it's different when you're walking down the street and you see an older lady or even a young lady or a young man walking around selling items, and they're not asking you for nothing. They're just selling items, and man, they're making an honest living. Like they don't ask for anything in return. But sometimes we see some tourists, I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. Especially because there's a lot of Khmer people watching. you know, all those carts that you see on the street where you guys sell all the insects, the worms, the snake on a stick.
Tarantula.
That's not normal in my country, guys. It's not normal in my country. It's not normal in Europe. It's normal here.
The frogs are not normal.
The frogs are not normal.
Oh, I love it.
It's so good.
I love them too.
I love them too.
Stuff with pork.
But it's not normal. And you see tourists all the time. They'll go through and they'll sit there and make all kinds of videos of like the cart and take photos and then just walk away. And I'm sitting there looking at them and I'm like, bro, you don't know how many times I've seen that happen. And then I walk up to the vendor and I'll just give them 1,000 real, which is 30 cents, and be like, bro, I'm so sorry. Like, because you feel bad as a tourist. Like, guys, you got to come here and show some courtesy to the people. Like, at the end of the day, this is local food. It's a local snack. Have some respect and, you know, help the vendor out. 1,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Take all the photos you want. And, you know, the vendor's going to be extremely happy with the 1,000 rupees that you gave them. Real.
But rupees too applies for.
Sorry,
No, it's okay because you went to
entire
India
world.
too.
I was in India
Of course.
before here. But, yeah, you give someone 1,000 real and, you know, they have a little bit more respect for you. And they're also going to feel a little bit better that, oh, well, he didn't just come here and take a bunch of photos of our food, because that's what it is. It's food.
True.
You know, it's disrespectful.
And they're working. Imagine that you're working in your computer and somebody approaches you just to take photos. Like, what?
Yeah, when you think about it like that, it's a big difference. And those same people are the ones that go to Pub Street and spend $6, $7 on a cocktail at a bar that's owned by Westerners.
Okay.
Like, come on, guys. We got to support the Khmer people. And we got to support the local Khmer. Man, there's
Business owner, huh?
local Khmer business owners.
The
local,
family business.
Local Khmer crafts. The people that are out in the countryside making the purses out of palm leaves. And they've been doing it for generations. Like, those are the people that are so important. And this video or this podcast isn't just for foreigners watching. Cambodians, man, get out there and support the local vendors. I notice nowadays a lot of the young Khmer girls, they don't want to go and buy a palm leaf purse. They don't want to go and buy these traditional Khmer items. They'd rather go buy a leather bag or a nice trendy bag from a mall.
Yeah.
Man, we got to keep these people around because
that's beautiful.
Man, in a few generations, they could be gone. True. And that is very important for Khmer culture. It is very important to make sure that those people are taken care of and that they get business, because there's so many countries. That's why Cambodia is so special. There's so many places in the world where the culture has already been so heavily influenced by the West that it's damn near invisible to see. Here in Cambodia, the Khmer culture is strong. It's visible. You can see it everywhere, but it's changing. Cambodia is developing quickly.
Yeah.
It's changing very quickly. And in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, it's not going to be the same Cambodia. It's sad to say that, but also very good at the same time, because it's changing. It's developing quickly. It's getting a lot more attention from the world, right? Which is beautiful. But man, we got to make sure, like, man, we keep these Khmer traditions alive and around for many generations to come. That way, people that come here in 10, 15 years, even though Phnom Penh will be surrounded by high-rise buildings and some of the most incredible shopping malls in the world, it would still be nice to be able to walk out of a shopping center and go eat a namban chok on the corner. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we got to keep those people around.
I totally agree. I mean, that's why when I meet like friends from abroad, expat friends, I tend to bring them to a place where I normally see less tourists going. Even like, you know, I don't know how many Cambodians would go to the Russian market, Tua Tumpung, to eat. I do that with my wife, like the local. And I talk to them like, how is the business, you know, and drinking coffee and then shop there a little bit. We do this regularly, you know, but I don't really show it. I just love doing it just because it feels right. And that is something that for you too as well, when you traveling around the world this much, definitely you would say that I wish I can just relax, right? But then you look into what you have done, how many smiles you put on people's face.
Yeah.
You forget all this, you know, the exhaustion just disappeared.
And also disappears as soon as you start a video. Like the energy you get,
Agree.
it's incredible. And when you finish, you're like, okay, that was good. And you feel so good. And also it's a learning lesson. For example, for me, every time I go back to my country, it's like, as you said, maybe I don't go to the local market because it's my country. It's always there. You know, I'm like, okay, it's like it's always gonna be there, so you take it for granted. But when I travel and I see all of these things and I appreciate the things here, I go back to my country, I'm like, oh, I miss this food so much, so I'm gonna go to the local market and eat it there.
Yeah, you were in the United States for a long time. What did you miss about Cambodia? I'm sure you missed those.
Definitely the food, man.
Yeah.
I would say the first thing comes to me. I don't cook, man. Like before I left, I cannot cook. I have to learn how to cook because I mean, sorry, my family. I missed food more than the family. It's like it's a part of you, you know. It's something that when you eat it, just a bite, it reminds you of your childhood. You know, the surrounding, because we have a culture of eating here. Like family eats together all the time. We don't talk while we eating. So this is just like family tradition. You know, it's not like a rule books. That's why Cambodian always value foods so much, especially the authenticity of the taste. Like prahok, right?
Yeah.
You try it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some don't.
It's strong, but I like it.
They're different type.
Yeah, they're different type.
They're the type.
Yeah,
that
some-
no-
I like the dipping.
the dipping was good.
Yeah.
Some are like a little bit too fermented for me tasting.
Yeah, but I mean there are different purposes of how to use it,
Yeah.
and then definitely now we sort of find a way to sort of eliminate that the smell. Before it used to be just raw, man.
Really?
Oh, dude, it's just like you can just go buy the hog and then just.
If you cooked that in your house, you'd smell it for days, huh?
Well, yeah, kind of true. Or like a kilometer away, you still can smell it. Or like somebody who eat prahok, you can smell it from afar too.
Yeah, you know what they have for lunch.
Oh yeah.
I don't want details.
No, actually, I literally appreciate the fact that when I see people like you who came and then understand what is the reason why you're here for. I'm not praising you for what you've done, but I'm praising you for the acknowledgement of the identity that we have.
Yeah.
And it is hard for us Cambodian to speak up on behalf of tourists because many tourists who came, I know there are different story, there are different feeling toward how we are or how we treat them, and like I said earlier, it's situational. And definitely, people are naturally respond to how you like react to certain things based on your energy. If you say you go around, you're making hate comments, right? You're making hate content. I'm pretty sure you cannot walk on the street.
Yeah.
It's something like that. People react in a way. At first respond. It's our, instincts to respond with the same energy when we receive
Yeah.
the activity. But I want to know, when you first make video in Cambodia, in terms of you can share whatever you feel comfortable with, like in terms of when you first came, like the feeling that you receive, or like we talked earlier, right? Like, hey, afraid to go out, which is normal. I would afraid to go out too when I go out abroad. I went to Taiwan, Singapore. People said it's safe. Of course, it's safe. But I don't feel comfortable going out alone.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know where to go. I don't know, like, there's a certain area that you should avoid. There's certain things, like Singapore, they have 1,000 rules. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. Don't like, hey, is this okay? I'm gonna get fined. Now I can just like, hey, 2 a.m. I can get out. I can go to the mart because I've been there many times. Same, I want to hear your story. You two especially.
So, I'll start because you guys see all the amazing videos I make about Cambodia, but you don't know about the first time. I did make a couple. I made a few videos here or there in the first time, but it was a different. Like you'll see if you go back and watch my very first Cambodia videos, a lot of editing in the videos. And when we first arrived from Thailand, our very first time, we took a train to the border of Poi Pet border.
Yeah, Papat, yeah.
And man, the moment we crossed that border, we kind of just started getting like really bad vibes in Cambodia the first time. And we actually just spoke to some friends who recently crossed there, and I guess not much has changed. But my experience in the beginning was, as soon as we crossed through the border, man, there was like a lot of people rushing up to us, trying to take advantage of us, charge us $100, put us in all kinds of shared vehicles with other people, and wanting a lot of money, guys. Like, I hadn't even been to Cambodia yet, but I knew like
We went to
$100,
the
$150 to go on a 2-hour drive with a shared van, $100 per person. Like, as soon as we got there, we felt like a little nervous and scared, especially because, let's be real, that border from Poi Phet to Siem Reap, man, for like the first 50 kilometers, man, there's nothing. Like, it's countryside as you can get. Like, it is rural. And for someone like us who our only experience of Asia, I don't want to compare, but was, Bangkok, Phuket, places that are they're pretty packed, very developed. We had crossed the border and we were nervous. We were like, wow. And then we
remember we went to the bus station.
Oh, man.
And it was a bus in a house.
Yeah, this what happened.
We were like, what?
We go to a bus station. They pick us up at the Poi Phet border. Yeah. They stick us in this truck. And me and Gladys are like, man, what are we doing? There wasn't any more tourists. We came here the day Angkor Wat opened after COVID, we came. So there was nobody at that border. Yeah. It was empty. They stick me and Gladys inside of like some old Lexus it was. And they drive us to some house in the middle of nowhere. And they tell us, all right, get out here and you're going to wait for a bus. And then literally some guy pulls up with a bus and it's empty, bro. Like the bus is empty. And me and Gladys are paying $100 to jump in this bus. And I'm like, man, this is the most I've traveled around Europe on a bus. Like, there's no way this is $100. Like, there's no way, especially per person. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, it was like.
No, this is good to hear, like the story that we don't know.
Yeah, and as a tourist, man, sometimes, guys, I've seen it personally. People come out here and they make negative videos on YouTube, and it's a negative video about Cambodia, but you can't also be quick to bash those people unless they're deliberately making these videos. But as a tourist, man, you can end up in a really bad situation here pretty quickly, as far as like running into the wrong person. Like I'm sure there's so many honest people that are doing taxi drives from the border to Siem Reap.
Agree.
We just got a dishonest one. And you can't knock all of them like that, but then that one person or this one story will scare the rest from. And there's so many. I'll get to this afterwards, because he asked me about how was the first feeling. So, bottom line, we were sketched out, nervous. Then that incident happened. We jumped into the bus, paid all of this money, man, and we were kind of upset. But we spent all of this money. We're like, okay, we already spent the money. Let's go. We're on this bus, and then the dude stops outside of Siem Reap on Highway 6. Now that I've been here many times, the first time, bro, I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. He dropped us off on the side of the road, and he's like, no, buses are not allowed in Siem Reap. He said, you have to wait. My friend's going to take you in his tuk-tuk. So we're like, man, we're sketched out. We're like, we just paid a lot of money, and he just dropped us off on the side of the road. Then he puts us on a tuk-tuk, and then the tuk-tuk driver, he was a really nice guy, actually. The whole time he's driving us to our hotel, he's like trying to sell us all kinds of tours for Angkor the next morning. And then we make it to the hotel, and bro, there's buses, vans. Siem Reap is a bustling city. And I was like, bro, there's no way that this bus driver just told us buses are not allowed in Siem Reap. There's buses everywhere. This man just dropped us off on the side of the road so that this other man can make more commission. And bottom line is, my first time in Cambodia, I felt really uncomfortable. And I would say when I was in Phnom Penh, I felt very unsafe. And the reason why I will say that is not because anything had happened to me here in Phnom Penh or in Siem Reap, because I was in Siem Reap for a few days afterwards and I loved it. But when I came back to Phnom Penh, I was scared because, man, everybody I met, Khmer people, all over TikTok were leaving me messages like, don't go to Phnom Penh, it's dangerous. Don't take out your phone in Phnom Penh, it's dangerous. They're going to rob you in Phnom Penh. Oh, you're going to get robbed. Oh, don't eat here. Make sure you don't go to this mall. They'll rob you when you walk out.
Wait,
bro,
Khmer people?
Khmer people.
Oh my God.
And until this day, Khmer people will say negative things about Phnom Penh. And our first time to Phnom Penh, bro, we didn't want to make a video. We were scared.
You told me that, yeah.
We were so scared. Mm-hmm. We turned on the camera and we put it down like every 30 seconds. Every time a motorcycle drive by, like we thought we were in her country where you really got to do that. We were here scared. Bro, it wasn't until like our second trip back here that I realized, man, there's nothing to be worried about. Like, Cambodia is an incredible country. It's just misunderstood. It's really misunderstood. And that's why it's been our mission to come back here so many times. But to get back to what you were saying, my first time I felt uncomfortable. I felt unsafe. And that was partially because of the incident that happened as soon as we crossed the border, which already makes you be on your toes no matter where you are. Because similar story happened to us entering Vietnam. It's not just Cambodia, so don't take it that way. It's happened to us in a lot of parts in the world where the first day, the first impression makes you uncomfortable, and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the trip. But
happened in Turkey.
It happened in
as
Turkey as well.
So you travel a lot. That's why, you understand this. You understand the situation.
Yeah, we understand the situation, but now it goes even deeper than that. What changed our whole impressions about Cambodia, about the entire country, was after we visited the killing fields, the S5 prison, learned about the genocide, the civil wars, all of the struggle of the Khmer people. I think that drew us closer to the country and the people, learning about that. And I think it's because the media has there's so many bad press and so many bad media about Cambodia, being honest with you guys. So prior to me coming out here 4 years ago for the first time, there wasn't a lot of vloggers here. There wasn't a lot of like YouTube videos to go and look at and see like amazing things or like people talking with people. All we saw was CNN articles, BBC News articles about, let's not get into details, but crazy stuff, man, right? And I think that's had taken a toll on the tourism here and how people portray Cambodia. So we had spent so many days and hours reading all this information, looking up all these things about Cambodia, and so many of the things were negative. And then this thing happens to us at the border, this incident, that, man, we were scared. We were kind of nervous, but where am I going with this? Sometimes I get a little distracted. So we were scared, nervous, and we luckily, when we arrived to Phnom Penh, we went to the killing fields. We went to the
S21.
S21. Learned about the genocide. I had no idea even the genocide.
You didn't know?
No. So growing up, funny. We'll dive in. I'll get to that right now.
Yeah.
So once we went to all these areas, we were comparing. Honestly, this is where we messed up as well. After that initial incident, we were really comparing like our time in Cambodia to other nations that we've been to in Asia.
Okay.
And we were like, man, there's not really much to do. Oh, there's not really this. Or, man, they don't have a big mall. Like
For me, the only thing I knew about Cambodia was Angkor. Like Angkor complex.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That was the only thing I knew, the only videos I watched. I did know nothing else. So I didn't know what to expect about the people or nothing.
True.
And also when you travel, I think you gotta at least learn a few words of the language. At least hello, thank you, you know, because it's true that when you approach people and you say susrai, they react different. They go like, oh, susrai. You know, they're like, you gotta smile back. So in that first trip, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
At least me.
And what I was getting to, I was just about to finish. We were comparing Cambodia, honestly, to a lot of the other nations in Asia that we went through, not realizing that the rest of Asia didn't have to deal with the issues that Khmer people had to deal with. They didn't deal with the loss of life, the loss of their family members, the struggle during the Civil War, the genocide that completely reshaped the entire country.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about, man, the genocide where all the intellectuals, the people that...
The smart one got deleted, man.
The people that were going to make the big difference, the people that were going to make this country the most modern, impressive country in Asia, those people were wiped out. Generations were wiped out. Once you start understanding the history of Cambodia and the Khmer people, you realize how resilient the people are here, how strong the people are here. The fact that people still walk the streets and smile, no matter how much pain they're enduring inside, is special. And when you learn about the history, then you can appreciate the way that the country is. When we came to Cambodia, the first trip, we didn't know what to expect. Like I said, we didn't know much about Cambodia. It was a rougher experience for us, but I think the rough experience kind of opened we were eager to learn more. And I think what I'm trying to say is we gave Cambodia a big chance, and we ended up falling in love with this country so much because we hear the common stories from a lot of people. As you know, we're tourists. We do tourism things for a living. So we hear people all the time, especially in my comments, saying, "Oh man, I hated Cambodia. I went to Siem Reap, and oh no, I hate this. This is the number one thing we hear. Oh, I hated Cambodia. There was nothing to do there. I went, and
oh my God,
I was like, Where did you
go?
Where did you go? And they're like, oh, I went to Angkor and then I left. I was like, you spent 48 hours in Cambodia. You didn't see Cambodia, bro. You didn't even see Angkor. Because you could spend 10 years in Angkor and not see all of Angkor.
Yeah. There are people like that too who live there, never go.
Exactly. And it's like, man, basically what I'm trying to say is Cambodia is such a special place. It's such a special country. And you got to really learn about the history, the culture, to really appreciate everything that's going on here. And there's not a lot of places in the world that are as special and as humble as Cambodia. And I'm going to say that after being to 75 countries. 75 countries. Here in Cambodia, man, the people, I know you guys are going to be like, you just got done saying the border. Guys, that's a border crossing. That's why you got to take what I say very lightly. It's a border crossing. It happens when you cross the border into India, when you cross the border anywhere. When you go to Mexico, America border, there's touts and people that want to upsell you this and upsell you that. That's normal. But sometimes you can't let a negative experience right off the bat justify the rest of your trip or the rest of your time. And here in Cambodia, I will say that 97% of the people that I meet, man, are just so honest, lovely, hardworking people. It's amazing to me. Me and Gladys will be in a random countryside and we'll go buy, I don't know, one of those melon iced teas from a lady on the side of the road that's selling it for 1,000 real. And she will charge us 1,000 real, the same price as every local gets charged.
I saw many times.
You know how hard that is to find around the world? You can't go to, I'm not going to name countries, but not neighboring countries. But you go to India and you walk around as a tourist, you're never going to get an honest price. You will never, and I will legitimately say it, you will not go to any vendor and get a normal price. Whether they have 10 rupees written on the wall, it's never going to be that price for you. And it's like that in so many parts of the world. And here in Cambodia, it's just not like that at all. It's impressive to me that these people literally don't even have a sign with prices. And they could take advantage of me so fast because for me, an extra 2,000 real wouldn't make a difference. I would still buy it.
Yeah.
Yet they don't do that. They are so honest, man. It blows my mind.
I would say there's something that I have to be honest with you as well. That it used to be the problem before COVID. We had some issue when people overcharge tourists. Even not just expat, man. Us, local.
Yeah.
Going to a tourist site, get overcharged, right? There was a big debate on we need to stop this. We need to shape our business in a way where, you know, there's a saying that kill them with kindness, you know? And I'm so glad that the people like you who are doing this raw content, where I can see the authenticity in it. And, you know, it doesn't have to be staged. It doesn't have to be fabricated in a way that nobody paying you to promote Cambodia.
No.
Right? You're not getting paid from anybody, right?
No. And if you want to, though, send me a message. Like, we could talk. No, I'm just joking. No, but no one's ever paid me to say nothing.
You don't ask for anything, no?
No. Because, man, I do it because, like I told you, I came here and I misunderstood the country. And I had a rough few days here, being honest. Like, me and Gladys,
But at the end of the day, we felt good in Cambodia because if not, we would never come back. Like,
obviously, yeah. You're here.
You're
here.
Every time we're here, we
never
feel
want to leave.
good. Like people is so nice.
Guys, let's buy him a house here.
Yeah,
You can travel wherever.
Yes.
Dude, there was a saying on my page saying that please give Chris a citizenship. I'm like,
Bro, don't buy me a house. Give me the papers to be able to buy my own, and I'll do it. Like, I want to contribute to Cambodia. I want to be here.
I'll find your way.
I love this country so much, man. And it's just, like I said, it's just misunderstood.
Any specific neighborhood you want to go to? Siem Reap or?
Yeah, I think Siem Reap is my spot. I love Phnom Penh, but Siem Reap, I really love those.
Okay.
I like the small.
If you buy the house there, I will buy that too. We can be neighbors.
Let's
Deal.
be neighbors.
I'll find a way to have. Let's see if there's a easier way to initiative this. We take advantage of the podcast.
You're watching. Pull some strings for your boy. Come on. I'm trying to stay here long term.
No, I think you should though, because the way you inspired and like I would use the word influence. I don't use this word much because I really don't like being called influencer.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Now we're on the same page. Okay. It is something that hard to find right now. People who are, raw, real, authentic, being themselves, and do it from the heart. I don't blame people who are not doing it from the heart. Everybody needs to survive. But we in a position where we can do it and not hurting anybody and still go on, right?
Yeah.
And I always appreciate those people who are not greedy. You are not greedy. Like, if you're greedy, you can earn way more. Yeah. You can do easier stuff than this. You don't have to go riding motorbike to the school to, to do the lab opening, all of these things. Like, you don't have to do that. You can just get into a taxi and go in the aircon, working in the studio and earn much money. All of these things, it's small things that you said earlier about what we went through. The killing field, the genocide, the auto-genocide. Actually, the correct term is called auto-genocide. Because your own race.
Yeah.
I did a school research on this.
Wow.
That's what grew the flame inside me that I had to return back to the country and contribute. I was affected by it. I grew up in the refugee camp. I don't have a hometown, People ask me where I came from. I had to name a place. I was born in the camp.
Wow.
Yeah, I lost all my childhood friends. I don't know where they are now. I don't know where they went to. Some of them got sent to the US. I was supposed to go to the US, but my mom decided to wait for my dad and missed the queue. Thank God it happened. Otherwise, I could have been in the US and not caring, right? I'm not blaming people who are living abroad right now. I'm just saying that if you have any connection or any soul left related to Khmer, you can help. Don't have to be here.
Yeah.
Spread the positivity about Cambodia.
Of course.
What are you most proud of, right?
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I grew up in Cambodia town in Long Beach, California.
You grew up there?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Cambodia town. So I was born in an area of Long Beach that's known as
I know the area well. Which one? Anaheim or?
Yeah, Anaheim.
Oh, the hood.
Yeah,
oh
in the hood,
God.
bro.
Oh,
I lived in the hood my entire life.
I've been there, dude. I've been there. I know, dude.
Yeah, it's ghetto, bro.
Oh, it's so ghetto, dude.
I grew up in the hood, and I spent a lot of my time growing up all around Cambodia town. Bounced around a lot because I grew up with a single mom, so we were constantly moving. Man, every year when the rent went up, we had to go. Like, we went from one place to the next, bounced around like crazy. But growing up, I had a lot of Cambodian friends. But they were all, they call them Khamericans, right?
Yeah. God. I don't hate that term, but why don't you can just call yourself Khmer?
Yeah, but I feel like it's also like me.
Cambodian American.
My family's from Guatemala, but people get in arguments with me all the time, huh? And they're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "United States." And they're like, "Yeah, but where your parents from? Guatemala. So why don't you say Guatemala?" I'm like, "Bro, I never even went there till I was 22.
I was born here.
I was born here.
Yeah.
I'm American."
And for me, my dad was from Spain. And I grew up with the Spanish culture in my house, music, food, everything. My mom is from Venezuela, but when people ask me, I'm like, I'm from Venezuela. I love Spain. I love the food. I love the culture. I can't live in Spain. Like, I love Spain, but I am from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Like, I'm American, but I'm Latino American.
Yeah.
I love my family's culture, and I speak Spanish at home. Like, yeah, I'm Latino, but I am 100% born and raised in America. So when sometimes people try and like fact check me on the internet, and they're like, no, but you're not from there. If your family's from Guatemala, I'm like, okay, then whatever. I'm from wherever you want me to be from, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if it makes you happy,
Doesn't have to be related
Guatemala,
to you.
then fine. I'll tell you Guatemala, even though I've been there for 5 days before. Like, I've been there ever.
Oh my God.
But
Man.
growing up in Cambodia town, what I was saying is I had a lot of Cambodian friends growing up, a lot of really good Cambodian friends growing up. And
were they scared to come back?
no, none, dude, a lot of them have never even been here, bro. Like, because their families left during that's
Yeah.
This is going for all of you guys, all of you people that are Khmer and have never been to Cambodia, man. Your heart is missing something. I'm telling you, it's missing something, and it's not going to fill that void until you come here. I promise you. Like, you got to go see where your family's from, and you got to go see how much this country has to offer and how much it has changed. Cambodia is not the same Cambodia that your parents left. And thank God that it is not that way.
Yeah.
It is so much different. It is so much better. It is a prosperous country that is growing, that's developing like crazy. There's so much to do here. There's so much to do here. There's so much to see. And there's so much history that you can't learn from a YouTube video and a textbook. You got to come here and see it yourself. Whether if your family escaped because of the Civil War, because of the genocide, that should be a lot more of a reason for you to come here and experience where your family's from. Like, come here, visit Cambodia, and, learn about where your family came from. I think it's beautiful. I got so many friends back home. That's why I make these videos that are Khmer, and they've never came here. And a lot of it has to do because of the stories their family told them, which were very much terrible incidents, terrible stories that wouldn't want anybody to come back. But thankfully, Cambodia has come a long way from that, and it's changed. And man, I'm going to go ahead and say Cambodia is very much a very safe country to come to, especially as a tourist. It is amazing.
You're getting taken care of well here.
You're getting taken care of here. And man, even if you're like one of those people that I very dislike, that don't eat nothing, that they're like, oh, I don't go to Asia because I don't like Asian food. Man,
we have Western food.
They got everything here. They got the best Italian food spots, probably better
English breakfast.
better Italian food than
pancakes.
Italy.
I'm gonna tell you one of the best Japanese today.
Yeah,
so
Japanese tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
Take me to Nong Playa, please.
No play. Okay, that also.
We know Central Market.
Yeah, we know.
You know the thing is, like, people would ask me why I would bring my tourist friends to not local restaurant, right? And I said, look, man, you cannot just sell them the same menu every day. You need to show the diversity, right? Which is something that I learned from the US. Like, the reason why the US is so easy for people to situate in or like move to, because it's just multicolor, man. It has so many things that you just know where to find it, right? And related to what you said earlier about the first impression, I will share you a story. On my first trip to the US, my parents was like wanted me to go there for school, for higher education, for college mainly. And I ended up went to Europe before. So I finished my high school in Norway. Then I moved to the US. The expectation was high. Like, I envisioned the US supposed to be like your most developed country in the world. Everything is just, flower everywhere, pink, colorful. I missed my plane in JFK. This situation I can repeat 1,000 times. My plane got delayed when I fly from Tokyo to JFK. It was not my fault. It was the airline fault. My plane was delayed, so I have to take another connection flight from JFK to my school in Vermont. So we arrived late. I happened to make a mistake. I went on the wrong terminal. So that was also my fault. I took responsibility. So I went to the counter and said, hey, I missed my flight to my school. Can I buy the ticket to my school? I have $300 only cash in 2007, right? Can I pay with cash? You know what they asked me for? Where's your credit card? I was confused. And then it's like, what is it? I don't know what a credit card is. And then they said, you in the US, you should have a credit card. I remember this. This lady said to me, I was like, what? It's like, can you just take cash? No, we don't take cash. I'm like, excuse me? I was so panicking. First time in the US, scared, alone. English was okay, not like fully fluent right now. Out of the blue, a lady walk in. You can use my card. The flight was $50 only because it's like, you have to pay extra fee, all these kind of things. So first impression was really negative. Bad energy, right? Out of the blue, a lady just paid for my flight. Wow. I give her the money back. She said, no, you just keep it. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry for them. They don't know that, not everyone have credit card or MasterCard. See the mood from like hate toward thankful within just 1 hour. And then I sort of told myself that I'm not gonna live here.
Yeah.
And I didn't live there. I mean, I miss my friends a lot. My friend who lives there, I miss them a lot. But you mean the system? Not so much.
Yeah.
See, when I hear your story, I think this is something that people need to share and be honest about it, right? You can learn to love a country on different reasons.
Yeah. And sometimes sometimes maybe your first trip wasn't the best experience. Sometimes you got to come back twice or 3 times to really understand a place and until you fall in love with it. But like I said, for me, Cambodia, man, I was never so worried. How can I say it? I didn't dislike Cambodia ever. Okay. It was the misconceptions of the internet, what you saw on the news, what you saw on YouTube. Man, it scares you. That's why a lot of people don't travel to a lot of places.
I totally agree with you.
That's why in my country we don't have tourists.
Okay,
also your country also. Yes, I know.
Our country is so similar to Cambodia. Like
Cambodia they have plenty of tourists.
Yeah.
For you guys, it's like we don't have so much, but you have. Like in comparison to my country, for example, we don't have like none.
No, I really appreciate the fact that you brought that up about the news, the mass media, the corporate medias. I'm fighting against this. Like one of the biggest reasons why I'm start doing podcasts and then even like risking doing it in English without, I'm gonna get judged. I already got judged by people who are like, oh, don't speak English, it's not good. We want to understand what you're saying. But hey, look, I'm not trying to reach the local. I'm trying to influence the mass market, the international to see, look, we have our own story. We have our own, facts here. If you want to do the report, come and fact check it. And like really fact check it. Like we're journalists, right? Some report you can report from a third person's perspective, right? That's not real. And there are certain locations where people say don't go, it's not safe. Especially here, you would say a lot of people would say don't go out at night into this. It's the same for everywhere. People would tell you to be protective, but they would not stop you from going, right? But don't like try to make a scenes where things didn't happen and then sort of stir it, in a way that I would say not just for Cambodia, anywhere, you're not supposed to create. There was a story that a creator from Taiwan came and do kidnapping scene and got arrested. Oh yeah, right after COVID.
Oh, we saw that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You don't remember it?
There's someone staged like a kidnap. Yeah,
they staged a kidnapping and.
Did this impact the tourists, And who's gonna suffer? The people, the locals, yeah. Not the local.
La loca.
The locals, yeah, man. Yeah. And this stuff affects tourism hard. One of the countries that I could say I really had misconceptions about, I recently went to Pakistan. I put that country off for a lot of times because of the news, the media. And I went there and same thing. All I found was the most hospitable people, like the nicest country. Everybody was so humble and kind. And yeah, man, media can mess up a lot of things. That's why it's important to, when you see
thanks to social media now.
When you see positive videos like this one of this podcast, you got to share it and share it again.
True.
That way the message gets out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I would strongly encourage the local to do more positive content in order to, it doesn't have to be 100% positive, but show the facts, right?
Yeah.
What we have to offer, what can we offer to tourists or even people who want to move here. There are many good content creators that I see that, especially the expat one, they truly understand why this country is wanted to be better. Every Cambodian want to be better. We have this in us. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to live in the past, of course, but it is important to remember what we went through so that we can use that as it, like, not as a fear, not as the, a memory to stop us from doing better things, but to remind us that we came far.
You guys came really far.
Yeah. We got reset, man. That thing was a reset button.
Yeah.
Everything go back to zero.
I mean, you got to think, even as a tourist, we understood, now we're kind of understanding, like, man, Cambodia was the most developed part of the world.
Yeah, we were Singapore back then.
Yeah, Singapore back then, man. Look at Angkor, like the most developed.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
City in the world at the time.
Yeah.
Like it. We were just talking about that. We were like,
the capital.
You can think about things in many different ways. I'm not gonna say my judgment on it because, man, a lot of people lost their lives. It's not even something to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one that says it's a reset button, but you can grow from those challenges, and I think Cambodia is a perfect example of how you can be resilient and bounce back from those kinds of things. Because right now, man, just in the last 5 years from when I started coming to Cambodia, it's already a different Cambodia. Like, it changes so much.
I agree.
Man. Changes so much. And like you were saying about the food, man, last night we went to a restaurant called Mealea.
Yeah.
Man, amazing. And same thing, they make like the traditional Khmer dishes, but they add a little twist to it, very modern, elegant, right? Some people on the internet, I guess, don't really like the way that they make things look fancy, or Khmer dishes look very presentable, nice plating, right? Some people say those things, and that is extremely important. It's extremely important for the gastronomy of Khmer gastronomy.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for people like us, Westerners, guys. You got to go look at their menu for themselves. But the Mealea, for example, we had some stuffed frogs yesterday.
Oh, that's my favorite thing.
Man, it's so good. But as a foreigner, where we come from, we don't eat stuffed frogs, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't eat regular frogs, let alone stuff them. So for someone like myself, in order for me to like dabble, we ate them right off the stick on the side of the road. Like, we've done it like that. But for a lot of foreigners, man, they won't touch that. But when they can find a restaurant that serves traditional Khmer food and it's plated beautifully and it makes it look really appealing, then that's how foreigners feel more comfortable to try dishes that they necessarily wouldn't have ate before. And it's a great way to expand Khmer culture and Khmer food to the world, because as we all know, we had this conversation last night. Man, it's amazing to me that, like, it doesn't matter where you're going in the world, you always see Vietnamese food, you always see Thai food. It's everywhere.
Mexican food.
Mexican food. Everywhere in the world you see Mexican food. Right here down the street, there's Mexican food. You don't matter where you go, there's Mexican food. But it breaks my heart that Khmer food hasn't had that same large impact. And it's important that you have these trendy Khmer restaurants, that you have, a lot companies out there, business owners that are wanting to bring Khmer food into a different. They want to make it look. They want to present it in a different perspective. Yeah, and I think that's extremely important, because I don't know why we don't have Khmer restaurants all over the world.
I agree.
I agree. Why?
It's happening, man. It's happening. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, this is something that you just connect the dot where I did not think that we're gonna talk about. But you understand why we are having a new airport for Phnom Penh? We're gonna have a new airport in 6 months.
I thought the one that's here is already new, no?
No, not yet.
I love that airport though.
Oh, they have a bigger one. You're gonna have to move to a bigger one.
Oh man.
But that bigger one is a little further, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something to make it more worth going. I travel a lot too. I'm pretty sure you would agree. When you go to the airport, you would see different type of vendors, right? Different type of food that you wanted to eat, right? There's a neighbor country food always there. Eventually, at least one.
Yeah.
At least one, right? For us local brand here, for the business owner or for the investor to see the bigger picture on how we can bring Cambodian food abroad, definitely through airport. I think if we have our own international standard one that have a lot of flights in and out, right? So the local brands start to go in. See the investor who travel through, they would see, oh, this food is nice. Can I buy your, IP and then open or franchise or open in my country? This is the opportunity, I'm not a businessman, but I see the picture.
Yeah.
It is a doorway for us to bring our, culture and tradition to the world.
To the world, yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to go abroad to show it. They can just a connecting flight, layover, right? I'm pretty sure they're going to have more because this airport is huge. Yeah. And the cost of layover will be cheaper.
Yeah.
Comparing to Singapore or other, right? And there's a lot of other things that I can see that we are trying to see different method where we can bring our food abroad. Yeah. And I agree. Cambodian food should be everywhere.
It should be everywhere. And it's crazy because exactly what you said, you go to the airports and you don't see a lot of local food. Even here in Cambodia right now, it's a lot of like the Western chains that you see there.
Yeah.
Or the big Amazon Cafe or something,
Yeah, of course.
It's like, but if you put local food inside of those places, man, it makes a large impact, especially if you, like you said, you're making this large airports where a lot of people are probably going to be coming here.
This new one will have many,
as an alternative for layovers because like you said, docking in Singapore is a whole nother video, but their fees are probably through the roof compared to what it's going to be here in Cambodia. But if somebody on a 6-hour layover who's never even thought about coming to Cambodia can at least taste the food, can see the airports for what it is, man, it motivates you to come here and learn more about a place, about a culture.
Yeah.
We've gone to so many countries on a layover and we're like, oh man, you sit there, you eat some local food, the airport leaves a good impression. That's important as well. And you're like, man, we got to come here. That's what happened to us with Saudi Arabia. We still haven't gone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We still haven't gone, but we've had layovers there and we're like, dang, we got to.
So it's on the list, on the bucket list.
But imagine landing in Phnom Penh on a layover and you taste loklak for your first time. Bruh.
Or amok. Steam amok.
Amok is like, for us Cambodian, when you say amok, we already know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
you
know what's crazy? It was.
Go on.
Go.
I want to hear from you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with conversation because I am used to make the questions.
Okay, you can ask too.
I'm used to be there, not here.
Yeah.
No, you say.
No, you go.
Yeah. Come on. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors.
So, the other night we visited a bar in Siem Reap. The owner was lovely. It was called Bar 43.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah,
oh,
they make good cocktails. What were you?
I always go there when I go to Siem Reap.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, they make good
Why didn't
drinks.
I tell you this? Dude, that's like in the alley.
Yeah.
Then,
right in front of the gelato spot.
Yeah. But my God, their cocktail is like
So
out of this
good.
universe, dude.
Yeah.
In the beer too, that's good.
And they got good beer, yeah. And the owner's lovely. It's just a good place. But they make an amok cocktail.
Okay, I tried that.
You tried it? It tastes like amok.
But when I tried it, I was too wasted. I don't remember.
Oh, fair.
I remember.
You have to go back.
You got to go back.
No, always. I go to Siem Reap, I always go there.
Okay.
This time I will try sober.
Yeah.
Because I already had one sort of pre-game and then I go.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Go on. I want to hear.
No. But that's what I was going for. That they got an amok cocktail. Like, it's crazy what... Man, that's what I'm saying though. Like, you need businesses that do those kinds of things because that changes it changes the cycle for Khmer culture and Khmer
Have you tried mock pizza?
No, but
You want to try?
I've
we
heard.
gotta try.
Okay, I need to
Amok pasta.
amok
Spaghetti.
pasta. Okay, amok pizza. Like, it's so cool because my good friend, he's one of well-known chef here. This guy is like, he can diffuse Khmer food with so many different things, and it's completely like unbelievable. You would look at it as it's like sticky rice, but you eat it, tastes different.
Wow.
But it has Khmer flavor in it. Like,
Okay.
it's not just flavor, sometimes you eat food, it's just the smell and the sense.
Yeah.
But the taste is heavy. You're like heavily, you're eating a cracker, it tastes like, cake. That is how crazy it is. Like it blew up your mind. I never believed that. I thought it was a joke. Like you cannot do it. And then he just gave me like a mock pizza and eat it. It's like I eat a mock fish.
Okay, I want a coffee that tastes like non-play.
Oh, that's
that's good.
That's a big idea, huh?
You should trademark that or patent that. Somebody gonna.
Okay. Yeah, after this podcast, every cafe in Siem Reap's gonna have coffee.
Yeah,
man, that could be a good flavor, man. The brown sugar with the.
I don't know if it's possible, but I can taste it.
I think with proper ingredients and we have salt coffee, we have coconut coffee.
Yes.
Oh, we have so many other coffees.
And they make egg coffee.
Yes, I also tried that too. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I like it.
I love it. Yeah,
we love egg coffee.
It's like a natural energy drink.
Coffee with water, rose water.
Yeah, you had.
Yeah,
that
I had that too. Yeah, in Morocco. You don't remember?
I know. I remember.
The Medina. Yeah.
I wanna track back a little bit to your experience in Poi Pat. Actually, I would say it's a good reminder for us as well, local. Especially, I would say I wouldn't want to go with the authority. I would want to go with content creators who live in that area because that's my hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my hometown is Banti Menchai, and Poi Pat is a part of it. I've been to Poi Pat many times. I fully understand how you feel. I fully understand. Even me, the local, also got problem, man.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, and but we just know how to get ourselves out of that situation, right? You just reminded me that I think we should like figure out a way to do a content there, like what you should do when you first arrive in Poi Pat.
Yeah.
Who to talk to, where to go, what bus system you should do, how to get to Siem Reap, like safely. I don't want to use the word safely because it's not risky.
Yeah,
it's smoothly.
Yeah.
I would say smoothly. Yeah, like this help ease the tension, or at least the stereotype before coming to Cambodia.
Yeah.
Which is something that I feel like when you go on YouTube, you search Cambodia, it's just Angkor Wat. Of course, I'm proud of Angkor Wat, but hey, man, there's other 99 things that we want to show.
Yeah.
Angkor Wat always there. It's always the first one.
It's always going to be top.
Yes.
Today I discovered something new.
What
this
is it?
bridge that you guys have on the 5,000 bill.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Well, our driver stopped there and I was like, oh, what is that? An ancient bridge. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, in Kampong Kadai.
Yeah, but I've never heard of that before.
I think you came from Siem Reap, you already see it.
No, we didn't. This was the first time we stopped there. On the way from Siem Reap.
Yeah, did you stop?
Yeah, we stopped.
Yeah,
You walk on it?
Yeah, and we
That's almost 1,000 years old bridge.
Yeah.
And it's still intact.
Yes. And it's awesome that you can see all the architecture when it's dry season, and then on
That's the beauty.
Yeah, on high season it's all covered, right? It's so beautiful, and I was like during like half hour reading about the bridge, then on the car I was so impressed. I was like, okay, we have to come here and make some videos because people need to see
But
this.
it's impressive how there's so many impressive archaeological sites everywhere in Cambodia. Like it's not just Angkor. Like there are so many different places around the country that were either built around the same Angkor era or even 300-400 years before that.
Oh yeah, pre Angkor or post. We have I think I want to give you a book, but I need to find it and then I will prepare for you because that book's actually sort of summarize. It's like a well-researched book about where we came from and where we're going to. And for you, like having this interest in Cambodia, you would actually learn something that more than the local themselves, because I already completed the book. I know stuff that, like some stuff that you don't have to talk in public because it's like, a backup knowledge of reference. When you talk about it, you actually understand, oh, what is this? You've been to other provinces yet besides Siem Reap?
No, we've only spent most of our time there and in
Phnom
Penh.
My mission next time when you come, let's make time. I have a couple of places I want to take you to see. The birthplace of Cambodia. We have that still exists until now. The birthplace of this country.
Wow.
Yeah,
where's that?
Takao. Chao Angkor Borai. So Angkor Wat is the temple, right? Angkor Wat is a district where the Cambodian birth, like their temple still have the ancient temple, almost 2,000 years old.
Wow.
Still
I want to go.
Yeah, I will show you. And then there's Mondolgiri, which is more eco-tourist.
Yeah.
But those are more now, I think, well developed. But in terms of like the nature side of things of Cambodia, you will see the different side. And then there's Stang Traing, they have Mondolgiri, Ratanakiri, but the indigenous tribe, we have about, I think, almost 100 tribes. And then there's this place where all the tribes live together and they don't speak local language, man. They have this one language that's common to all of the tribe. And they have to communicate through the commune head, who's like, the chief who understand all the language.
Wow.
And I've been there, And I'm like, hey, this place exists in my country? I could goosebumps saying this. I did not know until I traveled. And this brought us here, right? That for you hearing about Cambodia as it like in the news, I don't blame anybody who reads news about Cambodia. What I blame is that we need to work more in terms of how to advertise ourselves.
Man, exactly. That's my number one thing that I always tell everybody. I don't know. Man, I don't know. I don't want to dive too deep into it because who am I? It's like you said, you don't want to speak about from a foreigner perspective because it's different.
No, you got me.
I'm not.
You got me as a backup.
Okay.
I will balance it out.
All
for
right,
you.
so then I'm going to go hard.
Yeah.
Man, Cambodia needs to do more to promote Cambodia.
Yeah.
Cambodian tourism board needs to do more. Like,
Yeah.
I know that you guys I think you guys just established a tourism board or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But man, in order to, I always hear talks like, I'm just gonna compare it real quick. I always hear people comparing Cambodia with Vietnam, with Thailand, why they got more tourism, why they got this, why they got that. Man, if you see the advertisements that they have from Thailand, from Vietnam, everywhere in the world, you can be in Paris, you can be in LAX, you can be at New York City, Times Square. There is a billboard that says, come to Thailand, we have nice beaches, nice food, nice this, and we give you a 10-year visa. But they know exactly how to market it. And marketing is everything in this day and age that we live in. There should be billboards all over the world that have Cambodia on there. That are calling people to come here. There should be there should be a budget. Every country that's successful with tourism, there should be a budget to have creators coming out here to make content. There should be, like, for reals, there should be billboards. There should be... very active on social media. Like Cambodia, there's no reason why people shouldn't. There's people that don't even know that Cambodia has beaches, bro. Like, that's unreal.
I believe you.
There's people that don't even know that Cambodia has
We have
islands,
one of the best
man.
beach though. You've been there?
There's people that they don't know that Cambodia exists.
You haven't been there, right?
No, wait.
Okay, White Sand, Long Beach.
Yeah, we have to go.
That is like world-class beach, like natural sand. No fake sand, no buying sand from other. It's white.
Yeah.
Lau been there. Lau should take us there.
Yeah, Lau, you should take us there.
Yeah, he should take me too.
Take all of us, bro.
Because Lau now actually is.
He was just there.
Yeah, he's with tourism board.
Okay.
I'm happy to see Lau there though.
Yeah.
Like, we can talk about him because he's doing so much too.
That guy is amazing.
Yes.
And he's done so much to promote Cambodia.
I saw him first time he started doing it. I said, bro, please don't stop because we don't have that many people here locally doing this. And I totally agree with you. I know you don't mean harm by saying that they need to do more. Not just, the tourism board alone. Even people who actually know this is a problem. Hey, fix it together. Come on. A hand, right? The vendor, the restaurant, the hotel need to welcome people who actually contribute.
Man, and that goes to say a lot more too about we've been in the tourism industry for a while now. We work with tourism boards all around the world.
Yeah.
Man, like, obviously things come down to funding, to money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but if the Cambodia Tourism Board can't have funds to, I don't know, pay creators, influencers to come out and make video series or, take them on a press trip around the country. Press trips are extremely popular in every country.
Yeah.
Every country's tourism boards do press trips, right? You can start with local creators. You don't have to call people from the US, Canada to come out here.
Do
There's
with the
so
local
many
first.
places in Cambodia that even the locals don't know about.
Yeah.
Like, you can start close to home, but then also, like, man, getting involved with the local hotels, local resorts, man, making a good Cambodia tourism video, like a campaign about.
They do have it, but I'm pretty sure they package it in a way that you guys don't see it. And I mean, it's they do have a good video that I feel like. And,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. This is I think there's a way that I feel like we already have some products, but we don't have the right salesperson.
Yeah.
You see, reason why I doing this, like contact with you, get go abroad often to bring people in to film. I know before I can talk to them, I have to do everything I can first in my power to show that, hey, I've done my part.
Yeah.
You need to do yours, right? And I'm not blaming anyone in the different sector. What I'm saying is that if you truly care, right? If you want to see the country grow together, which is, I know, like everyone else is playing their part and trying their best to do so. But if we all work together, right? One hand each, right? Things will work out. Like for you, for example, I don't have to go talk to you and have you buy the laptop or like, get connected with you. I can just care my own business and do my own things, right? But I see what you've done. I appreciate that, And like I told you, I'm not somebody who see, I should have Chris and I'm going to gain so much followers. Yeah, I don't care, man. I could have made a video that day. I don't. Because what I see is that this has to be embraced in a way that people need to do more than say.
Yeah.
Right? Like for this podcast, I had to delay a wedding events that I was supposed to join. I said, hey, look, I need to podcast with Chris because I need to make sure this happen. I don't want to delay it. I can easily ask, hey, Chris, next time. But no, man, this has to happen now.
Yeah.
All right, man. Tomorrow morning I have to go. And, that is something that I feel like you play one of the part where it's inspire people to talk less. Because the way you shown in video, you cannot act. You cannot script that, man. Because their response is there,
Yeah.
Some of them don't smile, but look, I know deep down there, dude, they like,
Yeah.
who the hell is this guy giving me this help, for what?
For
right?
Why?
Yeah, but then you know what? They're going to go pay that forward to others.
Yeah.
Which is something that I feel like I am more than welcome for people who comes here. Well, they don't have to give us money. They don't have to do anything, but you've done way more than they ask for. But it is good because people acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And for you, how you got a chance to, like for the local, I want to hear from your side as well, from you too, guys. That's like the welcome that you get from here, that you want people to understand how you feel every time when you spend time here, spend your money here. I want the audience to understand how you feel like.
Man, to be honest, I love waking up every day in Cambodia and like walking the streets and just talking with the local people. I feel like the people are what draw me to this country the most. Gladys and I will be cruising down on our scooter and man, everybody just smiles at you and waves at you. And Cambodian people, man, they got like a very special smile. Like, somebody's Cambodian when they smile. Like, it's a very special smile. And you can go through and what I really love about Cambodia, I would say, what's drawn me to this place a lot is like, you'll be walking down the streets and, the lady selling the grilled bananas, like, like she is super happy to be there. Like, she might not actually be happy to be there, but she's happy to be working, to be selling some items, to be able to go home and feed her family. And she is not there, waiting for a tourist to come by because 1,000 real, 2,000 real extra isn't going to change her life. But she wakes up every day and, goes out there to do what she has to do. She or he has to do to support their family. And what blows me more away is that they're always the older people, right? So you even start thinking about how, man, those people lived through the era that we were just talking about, through the nightmare era here in Cambodia, where, life was everything but positive for a long time. Yet these people, like, still work extremely hard. Don't judge any of us by how we look. Don't treat us differently. They just want to make their sale, provide for their families, and they always have this beautiful smile. And what I love about Cambodia is that you'll be talking to these ladies or I'm going to say older ladies, older gentlemen, because they're the ones that in Cambodia, man, most people speak pretty good English, especially younger generation. Like, I'm talking older people, the less educated, the ones that unfortunately haven't been able to
because they're affected by the war.
Because they're affected by the war. All they knew was rice farming. Like a lot of older people here, they don't even know how to read in Khmer. They don't know how to speak it. Like it's just a sad reality. But it doesn't matter. They're always smiling and they'll talk. You guys have seen the video.
I've seen it.
They will talk to me in Khmer.
They wouldn't care. They would just keep talking.
And they just keep talking. Like if I understand and I just keep talking to them and I kind of try and think I understand and sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But it's not like in some places in the world where it's not like some places in the world where you'll walk up to a vendor and they won't even acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Like they don't care that you're even standing in front of them. It's crazy.
They acknowledge your existence here.
Here they acknowledge you. They give you their full attention, which is beautiful.
Yep. Totally
beautiful.
Agree.
Yeah. I feel the same. Like the time they give to you. It's something that I really appreciate. I always question myself, like how would be my people in my country if we have tourists. You know, because we don't have. So I'm thinking all the time, like,
it will happen.
What would happen if we have tourists? Like, what will we do? You know, and something I really love. I know it's not everything in Cambodia, but Angkor, it's my place. Like, I love go there. I love Angkor Wat so much. Every time I come here, I have to go.
It calms you down.
And it always amazes me, like the tour guides, how many language they speak.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday we met a tour guide that he was with a group of Japanese people and he spoke Japanese with us. We were like, what? And that's crazy. You know, people here, they're so smart. I love that too. I love that hustle. Like you just go on and learn to make your job.
You know what I think
That's
it
beautiful.
is too? The Khmer people just want better.
We want to be better.
Like
I said earlier,
we just want to be.
We want to improve.
Better.
Yeah. We don't want the same. We want to go forward. You know, this is the hustling, the grinding every day. Even myself, you know, every day I want to be better. Yeah. It is all it takes. Like, but of course, be better by not harming others.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
This is something that we always have to remind ourselves, and we reminding our surrounding, our friend, our family, that don't make anybody hurt while in the process of getting better, right? Like for you, I want to touch base. Have you completed yet? Or you want?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We almost hit 2 hours mark.
Wow.
Yes, I know you don't remember.
Very fast.
Yeah, it's go by this way. Can go 3, 4, but let's get to the point where I wanted to bring up, right? Congratulations on finishing the lab.
Thank you.
The painting, the process. I love how you craft the story well in terms of like, you know, you choose the color palette and everything. You ask the audience and then you acknowledge your subscriber who being a part of it.
Yeah.
And then I saw something that's triggered me in a good way. When you talk about, okay, you providing the lab and then what they want next is the library. The book, right? Or the build a library, right?
Yeah.
Can you emphasize on that? Because I saw you started the fund raising already, the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
You guys can follow on the link. I will put, this is for that.
Okay.
And then also, I want you to emphasize on that first, and then I have something to share on top of that.
Okay, cool. So we built a computer lab in this village that we visited a few months ago. I actually visited there to donate backpacks and school supplies. But while we were there, a teacher told us, I actually asked the teacher, what is it that your school could benefit from? What could be life-changing? And they told us that they would really appreciate a computer and a printer. And I am fortunate enough that I was like, okay, I can provide you with that tomorrow, but that's not really life-changing. Like, I get it from your perspective, it's life-changing, but I think that with the community I built, I could do more. So I briefly mentioned, like, maybe we should build them a computer lab, guys. And within a week, we raised the funds to build them a computer lab. which is a lot more impactful than just one computer and a printer. Because, like you said, unfortunately, 4 decades ago, all the people that were educated, intellectual men, like, they're no longer here, right? So in order to better Cambodia, to better the future, you got to have educated people. You got to have people that want to get involved in different career paths, that's want different to find different opportunities in life and different passions. And one of the ways to do that nowadays is with the computer. I mean, look, this podcast is made possible because of a computer. Like what goes on, what a computer can do for somebody in their future is incredible. Like,
look at me. The computer put me here today.
Exactly. Yeah. Computer you guys wouldn't know who Chris was if it wasn't for a computer. Some of the best doctors we have in the U.S. are all from Asian countries, India. They wouldn't be where they are if they never sat in front of a computer one day, you know? And so we raised the funds. We built them a computer lab. We just had our grand opening, and I asked the teacher, well, now that I know that this is possible, what else is it that your school can benefit from? And they said, well, honestly, right now we have a lot of the things that we need. Obviously, that's just them being very humble. There's so many things that they could use, but they're very grateful for the things that they have. And they were like, but if there's one thing we would need right now is a playground, because the kids don't have nowhere
I saw
to
that.
play.
Yeah.
They don't have nowhere to play. And we would like to get the library updated. So we went inside the library. We had a look at the library. Man, the only books that they have there were donated by another NGO. It was an NGO or...
Yeah, I don't remember, but they have 11 years already.
11 years.
Okay.
Almost 12 years they've had these books. And all of the books are like really thin books. Honestly, I've bought them before from the local markets to take and donate. They're like books that cost like about $1, $1.50. Like, they're very thin books, and basic reading. It's for children, but they're all held together with staples, tape. Man, some of them like the pages are taped together in like 3 or 4 different spots. It's unreal. Yet they still rent these books. I mean, give these books out to the kids, and they still learn from them. But you can imagine, like, man, the impact, guys. We're not. No one here watching this or listening is dumb or oblivious to what's happening. How can you expect, like, even children? Granted, they're young children, but how can you expect them to have motivation to want to learn and succeed even more when you're handing them a book that's been torn into a bunch of pages and put back together and stapled and taped? Like, man, you gotta... Kids
they already read, like, a lot of times. It's the same story every time.
The librarian was telling us some of these kids read the same book over and over again because they have nothing to read.
They already can remember the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I want to do is, I can't rebuild them their whole library, but I would like to update their library. I would like to replace all of their books. We wouldn't get rid of the old books. We'll just give them to another school down the road. Somebody else could make use for them, because there's no reason to waste anything. But we would like to fully redo their library as far as books are concerned. I would also like to add dictionaries. They said they don't have one, so it would be cool to add dictionaries. And to be honest, maybe add like we were thinking like some fun like learning games inside of the library.
Okay, the puzzle game for educational games. Okay.
Educational games. Man, that's what I liked going to.
I would like to add history books.
All right. Okay.
Maybe for kids, I don't know, but for me, I love books. I grew up like reading a lot, so
yeah. Can we have a bathroom break?
Yeah.
I really need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. You need to. You can go.
No, I'm good right now.
First time I have to do that.
Really?
Yeah. 100 episodes in already. Never do that.
Wow.
A lot of tea.
Yeah, a lot of tea and coffee. Okay, so what I feel like when I saw that, I feel like it's time for us to have a little more collaboration between the local and the international creators who came here and do something, right? And I would like to create an account here locally for the audience who watching and people who want to contribute. Let's say if the amount that you required, I know it's like $2,500, right? On the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
If we exceeded that, let's see we can forward that to some other, like playgrounds or things that you think fit, right? I don't want to be involved in decision making, but what I want to do is I'm gonna put up a QR code, right? And I'm gonna speak in Khmer for them, and we can clip this, and then we'll get you the local help as well. I want the local to be a part of this, man.
Yeah.
And obviously, it is something that I feel like all other influencer, creator, or whatever, like they call themselves for, do something at a capacity where they think they can to contribute, and bit by bit, we can play a part. We are not discarding the local or the the people who are involved and not helping, but these things, if you can do it, do it.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And because we can only do so much. We're only here
obviously
a few times a year. But not only that, but there's also, man, this is one village we're talking about. It's like there's so many schools that need help here in Cambodia. Like there's so many kids that could benefit from even having one computer in a school. Like there's so many places here that the kids don't have nothing. Man.
Yeah. Like, so I'll make an account, and then that account I will keep you updated on who's what, because it's easy. I make an account and all the money transfer into will have a report on who's what, because I like to be transparent with the audience as well. When I did the fundraising last time, man, I did not expect it, because I want to have a school. It's very far away in my hometown, right? It's not in the town. It's like way off towns. I just suppose I need books. I don't need money. I just need equipment. I had to rent a car to go to carry all the books for the kids. And then one day I see them like, some kid need a bike. They have to walk all the way from the mountain, cross a mountain to go to school. I'm like, they need a bike. Right? So I personally use my money and give them a bike on site. And that is something that when I feel let down by myself or do some other thing that I feel not motivated, I think about this small thing that I did. It just give me the energy back. It's like, come on, right? So I'm going to speak in Khmer.
Yeah.
And then let's see how far we can go.
Yeah, bro, let's do it.
And this episode, I'm going to monetize it.
Okay.
I'm going to monetize it both on Facebook and YouTube. I did this before. We raised around $2,000 just from the views alone. The views in Cambodia, not much.
Yeah.
But it gives us help, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Let's do it.
Okay, អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអញ្ចឹងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបានលឺខ្ញុំនិយាយគ្នានិយាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសហើយដោយសារ Chris គាត់នឹងត្រូវការគេថារែងគៀសថវិកាដើម្បីជួយសាលាដែលគាត់កំពុងជួយក្នុងចំនួនទឹកប្រាក់$2,500ហើយខ្ញុំនឹងដាក់ QR code នៅលើនេះអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាច scan ពីធនាគារណាក៏បានដែរខ្ញុំនឹងបង្កើតគណនីហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំនឹងបញ្ជាក់ប្រាប់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាថាទឹកប្រាក់បានចំនួនប៉ុណ្ណាហើយយើងនឹង when is the deadline?
There is no deadline. Once we reach the funds, we'll just
Okay.
Yeah.
អញ្ចឹងសម្រាប់ខ្ញុំគាត់ថាពីខ្មែរយើងទៅយើងធ្វើមកបាន1000ទៅតោះ1000 I'm setting a $1,000 target for the local.
Okay.
It's a reasonable number.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a friend who raised $100,000, for hospital. He's riding a bike from here to Europe right now. $250,000. He set his target. Yeah.
Yeah, anything is possible and everything's possible. Like even if you guys feel like 2,000 real isn't.
No, that's all. That's yeah.
Big donation.
Anything.
Yeah. Anything helps.
អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចចូលជាសភៅសម្រាប់អានសម្រាប់ក្មេងៗ the school primary school, right?
Yeah.
សភៅប៊ិចកតាបអីក៏ដោយដែលគិតថាអាចចូលជាផ្នែកមួយបានតាក់ទងខ្ញុំបាទខ្ញុំនឹងមានក្រុមការងារសម្រាប់ជួយ I don't have a teamwork yet, but I'm going to set up one. And we're going to have QR code here. យើងដាក់ QR code នៅលើអេក្រង់ Scan. Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Did not plan this. I saw that. I know that I need to let's see.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I like that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for contributing. And like I said, even 1,000 real, 2,000 real, if you send it with love, then that's all that
That's all.
That's
1 cent also counts, guys.
Yeah,
Come
everything.
On. Yeah.
And like I said, it's for the children that are the future, and hopefully they're the ones that can make a large impact on the future of Cambodia, because even the people that are in charge of the country right now, they're only going to be in charge for so long. We're only going to be around for so long. The future are the little kids running around the school right now. Like those are the ones that are going to be making the big decisions in the next 20 years.
Definitely.
And we got to educate them. They got to be educated. If they're not educated, then, man, we're not going to make progress.
Yeah. ហើយបើសិនជាលុយលើ in case if the money exceeded it, we will make sure we use it well. We will put it in the right place. We will, I say if I see the number hit above 1,000, I would close the account, would stop receiving their money. Because I don't want to, I agree with you. You have a target, you hit it, you don't overdo this thing, because when you have too much, you don't know what to do or it's more headache eventually.
Yeah, and the reason we kept it off at the school when we did the fundraising as well is because I wanted to make sure that as we were receiving donations from the viewers, that the money was going to that actual project and I didn't spend it on other projects because there's so many people that need help, but
you put your own extra, like for the computer, when I watch your video, there's like the number of the computer is what you add more, right?
Yeah, we added more computers, but I wanted to make sure it all stuck to that same project, not like I didn't want to go build a computer lab at another school, even though I made a video about this one.
I agree with you. Yeah. The transparent part is very important.
Yeah.
Being straightforward, it is something that people are going to value that for a long time.
Yeah.
Agree. Happy. Yeah. Hopefully it works out, man. I'm very positive about this. You are you.
It would be awesome too if people could donate books. I don't know where they.
I already said it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because
children books.
Books. Man.
Age under what? 10?
They're like, I think the oldest at the school is 12. So.
Okay, អាយុខំ12ឆ្នាំ Well, I want it to be I have many my audience selling books. I'm cool. Pretty sure. My kids have a lot of books as well. I'm pretty sure he will be happy to donate. He reads. My wife make my kid read.
That's good.
Oh, lots of books. I don't read.
I don't either. I don't either, but she reads a lot.
You would.
I just know books.
I can see you as a reader.
I know books are very important, and it's also cool to be able to have the choice whether you want to read them or not. And the fact is that there's a lot of kids at the school that don't have books to read, and they want to read.
So, yeah, obviously, yeah. Okay, អ្នកនរគ្នាកុំភ្លេចបាទអាចចូលរួមបាន But before we go, I think we should wrap up soon so we have eat food.
Yeah,
but you want anything to share before we go, because this is your first podcast. I don't want you to just off the podcast without you spill your beans. Whatever you want to say, man. Feel free.
Well,
right here, your camera. Right.
I just want to say, well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for loving me. For man, just loving what I do here in the country. It means the world to me. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't be who I am. Man, my life just wouldn't be the same, and I wouldn't be able to impact other people's lives. So thank you guys so much for all of the supports, especially the Khmer audience, man. It's one of my strongest. You guys love me. You guys watch my videos even when I'm not in Cambodia, which is huge. And I'm so grateful for you guys. So grateful. I feel honored that you guys love me and appreciate me here in the country. It's such a good feeling walking around and people saying, hey, what's up, Bong? What's up, Chris? It means a lot to me. It makes me so happy. It makes me feel like I have purpose here in the country. And it feels good to know that I've been able to help break a lot of the bad stereotypes about Cambodia. And I'll be doing it for many more years to come. So thank you guys so much. Oh, and give me a longer visa. That way I can stay here for a few years, like a long one. and that's it. That's it. Thank you. Akonchran.
Yeah. What about Gladys?
For me, well, I have to say thank you, Cambodia, for existing. Your joy for this world. I really love this country and the people as well. And thank you so much for loving Chris, like the love he received.
Now they will love you too, because finally you show up. No, I'm so happy. To be honest, you deserve to be known as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how you just don't want any spotlight.
Yeah. Well, she makes a lot of videos here in Cambodia as well in English. The problem is she doesn't post. I wouldn't say nowhere near as much as me, because she helps me a lot. She's been editing all my videos. She does a lot of the behind the scenes. So she still films quite a bit here and has filmed quite a lot. But like, I'll post on TikTok 4 times a day. She doesn't have the time to, because she does a lot of the editing. So.
And I also have my Spanish channel, so
yeah,
work for my 2 YouTube channels.
But yeah, if you guys want to check out her channel, she has so many videos.
I will put down all your social media. I will put in the description
Thank you.
or on the screen. Please search and watch. I sent her to a couple of places in Siem Reap as well. You will see.
You sent her to some good spots.
Yes,
If you gotta know the good spots, you gotta ask him. He knows the good spots.
Yeah.
Like,
No, don't send them to me, man.
he's like, bro, I don't got time to send them. He knows the good spots. And I want to say thank you so much to you, bro. Thank you for inviting us here, and thank you for sharing your culture with the world, because you do an amazing job as well. And people like you are what Cambodia needs. So thank you so much.
Thank you
for your time and for sharing your knowledge with us. And also your friends, like you are just.
I love meeting people like you.
And thank you so much for helping me with the computers, because you didn't have to do that, and I knew that took a lot logistically. So
I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot, and I learned how to prepare. Like you have to be ready for anything. And this time, definitely show me that people actually cares. When I ask them, they do. It's all you have to do is ask. Yeah. And sincerely ask. Yeah. So, before we go, I have something for Gladys. I hope you like it.
Oh, what it is?
Surprise.
Now I want to see your expression. Open it. Or no, open it.
What is this? Oh my God. I cannot believe you did this.
Please, you deserve it.
No way.
Yeah, I have to pull.
Where did you get this from?
Don't ask. Just take it first.
Oh no.
What is that?
Show to the camera.
Can I show it?
Yeah, of course. Show it to the camera. Come on.
No
wait. It's like a Apsara?
Yes.
And Apsara la boo boo.
Yeah.
No way.
You can dress her. Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you. This is my favorite sari.
That is insane.
You know what happened?
So beautiful.
She messaged me, where can I buy labubu in Cambodia? I'm like, what? It's a thing here. It's a trend. And this is very hard to find, because I posted on my Facebook and say, where can I get the Khmer style one? Some people send me different places, right?
This is crazy.
I have a friend who sold me the dress. I have to buy the blind box labubu. I don't know what color we'll get, right? I was trying to get green, but then, my God,
it was gray.
It just matched.
Like that. Oh no, that's so cool. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. Do you know what? I love Apsaras. Right? Every time I go to Angkor Wat, I'm taking photos. I'm like, okay, let me go see. Every time
the
I go.
character of Apsara is very cool.
So I love it.
And you know what? The crazy part is that I have to double check about the settings. Like, I have to make sure it's Cambodian, because there's this gray area where people misunderstood, right? Oh. And this is very sensitive. I'm like, bro, make sure I don't want to be in trouble, because I want to give you Cambodian style.
This is so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Don't worry. Yeah.
I love.
See, Chris, she's happy. You're happy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, man, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, man, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the labubu.
I can't.
And man, I cannot wait to see where this country heads to in the next 10, 15 years. Even in the next year. It's incredible what's happening here in Cambodia. And for all of you guys watching, like I said, if you're not from Cambodia, if you're Khmer living somewhere else, if you're just a foreigner like myself watching this podcast, come to Cambodia. Add it to your list. It shouldn't be a place that you miss. And this country has so much to offer. The people are lovely. The food's great. The history's unreal. And just, there's nothing better than cruising down the countrysides on a scooter. Trust me.
Yes, I saw that. It's so fun. I want to do that too now when I go to Siem Reap.
And next time I come back, I'm going to do a series in Spanish. So people in my country can
Yes.
know about Cambodia.
I love Spanish. The language I try to learn, but only know how to flirt with Spanish. I don't know how to speak.
At
Hey,
least
got
you
it
know
down,
some
you got it
words.
down.
Good. Thank you.
And you're welcome to our place anytime you ever come to Los Angeles and we're around. You're welcome.
Obviously, I
Yeah.
will.
Or if you want to visit Venezuela anytime,
I will. I would love to.
I
because
will be there.
have
You don't need a
friends there.
visa like I do.
yes.
Oh yeah, true.
go.
Well, I mean, before we go, I would like to extend the invitation, like we said earlier. At the end of this year, if you don't have anything to do, please come. We're gonna have this event celebrating Cambodia. I'm saying this because I want the partner, the organizers, because I'm also involved. We'll arrange something for you because I want the international creator who come experience how can we celebrate, Universal New Year.
Okay.
Yeah, and last year was real fun, and we're gonna do hopefully this 3 day. I don't know. Let's see. And thank you for allowing me to host you.
Of course.
Your first
I would-
podcast ever.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have next one. It's fine.
We'll have more.
Yeah.
If you guys like this one, if this one gets 10 million views.
Yeah.
If this one gets like 5 million likes,
Hey, if we get 1,000 shares, I'll be back. All right. That's reasonable.
Okay,
and
that's
10,000
reasonable.
likes, 10,000 likes.
10,000 likes. I'll be
Yeah.
back again.
Yeah.
And let us know down below what was your favorite part about the podcast, and drop more questions. If you want him to ask me questions on the next one,
Sure.
let me know because I'll be back. And about the new year,
And
I am so down. Just tell me when, and I definitely want to come back again. I'm gonna be back many times before, but I also don't want to miss the water festival again.
You should.
and leave some recommendations for us. So
Yeah.
anything you
For the
want
water
us to
festival, you want to
come
try and be on the
visit.
boat. You want to try to.
I want to be on the boat. I want to be that guy in the front.
Yeah. You wanna? Okay. Deal.
Deal.
We'll make that happen. We'll make that happen for you. Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's actually a tradition, They have to do a lot of dancing. We have barang we call tourist barang,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. We have before. I took picture of him too.
Oh, bro.
So cool, man.
Don't put me on front of the boat. I'll be the biggest hype man.
Yeah.
And for me, please somebody create the non-play eye coffee.
Non-play coffee.
Yeah, and please make more non-play eyes in like, I don't know, any coffee shop that I
I
can
love that
enter,
how
I
you
can
have
find,
one favorite
please.
things in
That's her favorite.
Yeah អូខេអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអញ្ចឹងយើងចប់ហើយត្រឹមវានេះហើយបាទគឺ2ម៉ោងជាងហើយពួកខ្ញុំទាំង3នាក់សូមអធិស្ឋានបើសិនជាមានកន្លែងណាមួយលើសលុះឬក៏កន្លែងណាមួយដែលអ្នកនរគ្នាមិនទាន់យល់អីអាចសួរថែមបានហើយព្រោះថាការដែលយើងធ្វើ podcast នេះគឺយើងចង់ឲ្យប្រទេសកម្ពុជាយើងទទួលបាននៅការទទួលស្គាល់ពីខាងក្រៅជាពិសេសអ្នកធ្វើដំណើរឲ្យដឹងថាយើងគឺជាប្រទេសមួយចង់ល្អជាងមុនចង់គេហៅថាអភិវឌ្ឍទៅចំណុចមួយទៀតហើយយើងកំពុងដើរនៅលើផ្លូវត្រូវអញ្ចឹងជួបគ្នានៅអេពីសូតក្រោយទៀតនៅពេលនេះពួកយើងទាំង3បាទ we all three thank you for your time ជំរាបលា
Akanchan.
ជំរាបលា
He says, Akon.
I was waiting to see your smile